High Cee-Bees football. Tonight's game is brought to you by HealthWorks. When your body hurts, go to HealthWorks. 9 convenient locations to serve you. By Lang Monument, family-owned since 1874 in the Wharf District, Morgantown. By Morgantown Power Sports, carrying a complete lineup of Honda, Yamaha, Suzuki, Kawasaki, and KTM. Morgantown Power Sports on the mile ground. By Mon Health System, feel the difference. By Advanced HVAC and Plumbing, the area's only Carrier factory authorized dealer. Turn to the experts. By the Insurance Centers, where serving you is our best policy. And by Omega Commercial Interiors. For office furniture, buy local at Omega in Morgantown and Charleston. Clay-Battelle High football is on the air.
It's 90 degrees. It's the last weekend in August. Everybody got out of work early for Labor Day weekend. The streets of Morgantown are packed for one of the biggest home games in recent memory. But tonight, it's all about high school football. And good afternoon or evening, wherever you may be listening. This is Ethan Collins calling another season of Clay-Battelle High Cee-Bees football, where we are getting ready for, I'm going to dub this the Stinger Bowl between the Clay-Battelle Cee-Bees and the 100 Hornets. Good afternoon. Once again, I am Ethan Collins, and joined beside me is, of course, my color commentator, a family affair, whatever we want to call it. It's Chance Collins. Chance, how are you doing tonight?
Doing good this evening. I mean, you bring up the jacket affair or the Hornet affair, however you worded it, and the only thing that come to me is how we were stung last year as we left 100. What was the first win in, wasn't it 30-some years or something like that?
I believe it was in the early 2000s. I believe it was like 2002 or something like that.
And, I'm hoping this year starts out a little bit better. I definitely feel more confident after speaking with the new coach, but I will tell you, I spoke with the 100 coach also right before we headed up, and it's a guy, even though he only has what he told me tonight, 14 players, that's one more than they had to begin last year with. He seemed like a very confident coach, said the chemistry was probably the best chemistry he's had on any team he's coached, so it'll be interesting to see. So
these are two teams that are coming into this season that are going to be completely different from where they were when they played each other last season. On the 100 Hornets side, you have two guys who completely took over the game for them last year, now transferred to North Marion. Pretty much the only guy who was on the stat sheet last year that's participating in this game is the coach's son, Tyler Sleeth. So when we look at things like that, you say, okay, new players, new guys to step up. The 100 coach clearly seems like he's prepared and ready for that. On the other side, boy, do we have a whole new ball game here to talk about from last season. New coach, new uniforms, new personnel, new offense, new transfers coming in for our school. I mean, it's a completely different setup than what we're seeing from last year. But I'm telling you what, I could not be more excited about this Clay-Battelle Cee-Bees football team.
I agree, and at the same time, you can add new attitude. And that ain't no knock on last year's team. There's just a point. You're going to have a new attitude when you go from a coach that I think coached like 38 years to a guy who's coming into this with his first year with the team. You know he's going to bring a different mentality, a different attitude to it. He wants to put his footprint on this team, and he wants to have a career, if we would all would say, as Coach Wilson had in his career here. So.
And talking to Coach Lapoe, I mean, we have talked about this. He has nothing but respect for Coach Wilson. Matter of fact, he looks up to Coach Wilson. And to tell you the truth, I'm going to be missing him here on these sidelines for his experience, his know what to do in these certain situations. But everybody must move on, and somebody had to take over this program. And with the few interviews that I have had with Coach Lapoe, I honestly can't think of anybody better to take over this program. He's an alum. He's a former football player. He knows the game. And I'm telling you what, he has got these guys juiced like we really haven't seen coming into a season, at least since I've been commentating, which, mind you, only 3 years. This is our third year.
And there's things that come with experiences Coach Wilson had versus the youthness that Coach Lapoe has. And, we're going to have to ride that fine line, as you said. I mean, we're going to miss some experience because I'll go ahead and tell you, I'm going to guess just by a little bit of time I've had with Coach Lapoe with you that we may see a little bit more actions on the sideline, a little bit more hyped up than what it was.
Well, he's going to be closer to us. I mean, he's on the close sideline now. So
they've changed that up. We get our sideline on this side from us, And I think that's going to be a nice new experience for us to have. But at the same time, that was the thing that Wilson brought, was he brought a calmness to it, because very few times did I ever see him animated on the sideline. I did see a couple, but them experience, he understands that keeping his control kept the kids under control. And that'll be something that we'll have to see from Lapoe. Can he, as he acts animated, is he able to also counteract that and make sure his kids are keeping their head screwed on straight and playing the game the way it needs to be played?
Well, games aren't won with coaches. Games are won with players. So let's talk about this Clay-Battelle Cee-Bees roster. The first person I want to talk about is the guy who was probably the human highlight reel at wide receiver last night, moving to the quarterback position. That's Braden Ponceroff. Ponceroff brings an interesting IQ to this offense, which, by the way, we haven't even really talked about the offense. And just from talking to Coach Lapoe and seeing walkthroughs and stuff, it's kind of going to look like Rich Rod, WVU, read option, tuck it and run, but we're going to spread you out. We're going to have 4 wide receivers, and if you don't cover somebody, we're going to throw a quick little screen out here, and it's going to be your favorite 3 yards in a cloud of dust. It's just going to be on the sideline.
It is. And that, you think about it, Rich Rod was like that. He was just able to recruit some athletes in that, like Tavon Austin and those that took it from
some athletes now.
From 3 yards to the house. And I'm with you on that. We've been watching him warm up, and I guess we got a kid, I can't remember his name right now. I'm sure you'll help me out. That his
Damian Toothman.
Damian Toothman. First year in a contact sport. We seen him out here warming up, and boy, if he looks the same in a pair of shoulder pads as he did warming up in his the under uniform, as I'll refer to it, it will be interesting to watch.
Now, what I was sitting here wondering is that, who we talked about Caleb Snodgrass. He told me before the season even started, he's like, I'm not wearing number 6 anymore. It's too big. Shoes were too big to fill, okay? He switches to the number 25. So who's going to switch to that 6? It's Damian Toothman. So, yeah, maybe big shoes to fill, but let me tell you something. He's a big boy. He'll fit into that jersey just fine. But we also forgot the biggest thing. With a new coach comes a new mentality and comes new uniforms we're talking about here tonight. Some new dark gray uniforms that we're seeing here tonight making their debuts. It should be a whole lot of fun to see that. These guys seem to be really amped up for those new uniforms.
They do, and looking at them, seeing the pictures online, following on Facebook on Clay-Battelle High School Sports, it's been awesome to see the pictures of the kids in the uniforms. You can see the excitement just in the pictures themselves. They're excited as this season's going. You got this youthfulness coming into the program, wanting to use this social media, push it out there, make them get name notoriety as far as the community goes if you're following. Now, you brought up big, and we ain't leaving the players just yet until we come up with big, okay? Because I look down there, and we have a transfer from North Marion headed this way. 100 may have had their guys leave to go to there, but we had one come from North Marion. And
he's about the size of 2 guys.
Matter of fact, I wouldn't be surprised if he didn't weigh more than the 2 guys that left to go to North Marion. But I'm going to bring up Zach Gump, who's going to be number 73.
Chance always loves his big uglies. He's got to talk about his big uglies.
You do that. I like it in the trenches. I like it getting nasty down inside there. But when you say 6'6", 331 pounds, and you sent me a picture of your hand, and I'll say inside this kid's hand, because your fingertips practically came to his back knuckle at the beginning of his fingers, this kid's just huge. Like, he ran out onto the field, and every other kid was
He makes
Cooper
Statler look small.
Yes.
And Cooper Statler is not a small guy.
Cooper is the furthest thing. Like, he was our big boy last year, and he makes him look like maybe he should be starting tailback is what it looks like because he's that big. But, it may end up
You're forgetting the biggest part. Sophomore.
I did forget that.
The kid can't drive yet.
Even when he can, he ain't going to be able to fit in the vehicle from what I've seen. That's what I'm going to go with.
The last time we saw a guy who was that big, Max Shriver, he had to fit in like a tiny little Fiat, okay? I want to see this kid. He's going to look like Mr. Incredible in the car in traffic over there coming back from the office if he drives a Fiat. But, okay, so so you talked about your big uglies. I'm going to name out some other guys that we're going to be talking about a lot this year. Workhorse, engine, the need for speed, whatever you want to call him. The guy who's probably going to be getting predominant amount of carries is Maverick Gump. And he showed it last year when Zach Hall was injured. He can take that position, put it on his back, and still have some energy left to run by the time this game is over. Because I'm telling you what, the kid is in tremendous shape, and he's going to need to be with the workload that he's going to need to take on this season.
Incorrect. With this offense running, kind of as you talked and the coach had talked to you about, we may see him being a big integral part on the blocking process because we are going to be running a lot of 3 and 4 wides and going to try to give Poncer off some time. He definitely has some weapons, we do believe. I am very interested in seeing how that goes. But as you said, Gum last year was a workhorse in one of the games we went to, and it maybe only been 4 yards a carry, but it was 12 plays of 4 yards, and he'd get down the field and we'd score a touchdown. And I'm really interested if we're able to get the pass going and you open that field up, you let Maverick get to the point of being one-on-one with the linebacker, I'm going to take Maverick winning that 60% of the time.
Especially when the linebacker's standing there stopped, trying to get the guy down, and Maverick's coming with a full head of steam for sure.
And he does have some smooth feet. Even though he's a bigger boy and he wants to run you over, he ain't afraid to go around you either.
Yeah, so we'll talk about these wide receivers here for just a second. So we already talked about Damian Toothman, another guy coming to play football for the first time. But let's talk about Old Reliable. I'm going to dub him Old Reliable on the passing end. Josiah Morgan, he's back this year in his senior year. He'll probably be wide receiver 1. He's got the experience. He's got the know-how in order to get this thing done. But let's talk about these other wide receivers that we'll see here tonight. Landon Savage Lands.
Yeah, we're going to bring old Savage Lands to the offensive side, and I seen what he could do on the defensive side, and I tell you, he shut down the best receiver, it seemed like last year, whoever we played. He's done a phenomenal job at that. I am interested to see what he's able to do on the offensive side. Going down there, I feel like he's a little bit bigger. He's a little bit more filled out. I can tell you that Josiah Morgan, to me, definitely looked more filled out than what I remember. I know that online they've been posting the weight program, and it looks like it just ain't the big uglies that's been working that weight program. It looks like our athletes have been doing it too.
So, and then one more name I want to mention is Tyson Price. You've kind of heard that name trickle down here and there. I remember my first year we were talking about it. We were like, who's that tiny little 84 that's kind of making people miss at the tailback position? Well, he's moved over to wide receiver. He switched his number to 11. He did that last year. The kid shot up like a rock. I got to say, from freshman year, he seems at least 4 inches taller. And from what I understand, he's gotten about 3 seconds faster, too.
And, I mean, you add that in, and as you're talking about the coach and the development of players and coming along, you're always going to lose players. We're going to miss players. I'm going to miss Easton Rowan from last year. It's one of my big uglies. I always like to talk about and watch, and I'm going to see him leaving on. But, there's always somebody coming in. We already talked about Zach Gump. Then you're going to talk about Cooper Statler coming back. I mean, you're going to have to fill them shoes up with younger guys that are stepping up, but it is interesting to see. But I am looking forward to watching him at that receiver position because in this style of offense, it's all about getting one-on-one matchups, and you hope you win those matchups.
Well, let's talk about your big uglies for a second. You've already mentioned the usual suspects in Cooper Statler. We haven't seen exactly what Zach Gump is yet, but on paper, he looks like a tremendous athlete. Now, from what it looks like, actually, you know what? We'll leave that there. We're going to take a quick break while the national anthem plays, and we'll be right back here on WAJR.com.
For over 2 decades, Morgantown Power Sports has been serving Morgantown and the surrounding area, providing the highest customer service and overall value in the power sports industry. Home to Honda, Yamaha, Suzuki, Kawasaki, and KTM. You'll find everything you need for your on- and off-road enjoyment, including a full line of parts and accessories. Morgantown Power Sports, a proud supporter of high school athletics, on the mile ground or online at morgantownpowersports.com.
When the whistle blows, your favorite player will be ready, but will you look the part? MPB Print and Sign Superstore helps you support your favorite team or player with personalized gear. Cheer them on in style with custom apparel for teams, players, and families. Don't stop there. Complete your look with some custom bags, flags, signs, and stickers. Not going to the field? Brand some apparel for your upcoming event or fundraiser. All at mpbonline.com. A proud supporter of high school athletics.
Health works for you, for rehab and fitness too.
When you attend football games, do you rush to get a seat at the back of the bleachers for back support? Back pain is a common problem and can often be relieved with physical therapy treatments. If you have back pain, see your doctor and ask for a physical therapy prescription. Then see the physical therapy professionals at HealthWorks. With 9 nearby locations, finding quality care doesn't need to be a headache. HealthWorks Rehab and Fitness, Morgantown, Westover, Cheat Lake, Blacksville, Smithfield, Waynesburg, Fairmont, and Buchanan. When your body hurts, go to HealthWorks.
Our people make the difference in the way you feel each day. When your body hurts, go to HealthWorks.
Welcome back here to Blacksville, West Virginia, as we are about 10 minutes away from kickoff here between the Stinger Bowl, Clay-Battelle Cee-Bees against the 100 Hornets. Do you like that?
I like the name. I like the name. Yes.
Even though I'm kind of against the whole B aspect of a CB, but I still going to dub it the Stinger Bowl. Okay, so we were talking about the big uglies here. I want to mention some names here that probably don't get the love and attention that they deserve, but Cameron Mercer, Alex Dancer, we got Brody Patrick Willard, and we also have Cameron Lloyd, Carter Ammons, let's see here, Josh Wilson. I'm looking at a lot of guys on the offensive line. Now, this may scare me a little bit for the future, but you know what? We're not going to focus on the future. We're going to focus on this season. I'm seeing junior, senior, junior, senior. Not a lot of guys other than Zach Gump at the sophomore and freshman year. So you're bringing a lot of guys in that might have a lot of snaps. And this could be a very good thing when it comes to a run-heavy offense. You can switch small linemen in and out if they get tired.
Yeah, you can do that. And it also, a lot of times, especially in single-way football, normally that's what you have. You have your on years and off years, where one year it seems like you got the athletes, then you ain't got the big uglies. Then the following year you got the big uglies and you ain't got the athletes. And it's kind of one of those. But to even look at it and think you're going to have Cooper Statler, and like you said, we haven't seen, but we have heard the reference to he's a man when it comes to Zach Gump. Them two coming back right there is going to give you over 500 pounds on your line before we add the other 3 in.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm also seeing a lot of peewee kids out there on the sidelines getting ready to come out, which we haven't seen this. I got to say, this is a pretty decent crowd that we got going here for week one.
We do. The bleachers seem to be pretty full. Nice weather out.
Yeah.
If you haven't made it out this way, as much as we love you listening to us on the radio, get in the car and come on down. I know the hot dogs are pretty good here.
Yeah, absolutely.
We got some good concessions down there, but at the same time, there is still seats, but it's nice seats.
Who said that you have to, not stop listening to us? Get in your car, come here, and listen to us on the way.
There you go.
You know what?
I would agree with that.
All right, so how about we stop talking? We'll come back for a quick commercial break, and then when we come back, we'll have the man himself introduce himself to us over the air, Aaron Lapoe.
Sounds good.
All right.
Sounds really good.
We are 9 minutes away from kickoff here on WAJR.com. We'll be right back.
Ready to stay in the game without digestive issues slowing you down? Mod Health brings state-of-the-art care and equipment to tackle your digestive discomfort. We'll help you navigate your GI playbook from lab tests to endoscopies with personalized care every step of the way. Don't fumble when it comes to your health. Call 304-598-2700 to get seen sooner. Choose Mod Health, the winning team for digestive care.
Health works for you, for rehab and fitness too.
Keeping high school athletes healthy is something that HealthWorks Rehab and Fitness takes great pride in. That's why our certified athletic trainers work with many area schools during practice and on the sidelines during tonight's game. Unfortunately, injuries do happen in sports, at work, and at home. At HealthWorks, our goal remains the same, to get you back in action. When you need physical therapy, you need HealthWorks. HealthWorks Rehab and Fitness, Morgantown, Westover, Cheat Lake, Blacksville, Smithfield, Waynesburg, Fairmont, and Buchanan. When your body hurts, go to HealthWorks.
Our people make the difference in the way you feel each day. When your body hurts, go to HealthWorks.
Welcome back to the pregame show here on WAJR.com. This pregame coach's interview is sponsored by HealthWorks. 7 convenient locations to serve you, and I'm here with Coach Lapoe. still feels a little weird to not say Ryan Wilson a little bit, but I got to say it is exciting to have you here, and just want to know how are you feeling ahead of your first game here tonight?
Well, listen, Coach Wilson was the head coach for 29 years. What I realized today is I'm 38 years old, and so for those 29 years, I've been coming to Clay-Battelle football games. When I was a little kid, 3rd, 4th grade, I was so excited for Friday nights to come watch Stan Dean play. And then when I'm in high school, I'm driving my yellow Firebird to school, listening to AC/DC. It's kind of same music's playing. When I was in high school, I'd visualize driving down a foggy Route 7 in the morning on the way to school. I'd visualize myself scoring touchdowns, tackling guys. And today I was visualizing running down the sideline, watching these guys score touchdowns and tackle guys. So,
was it still the yellow Firebird?
No, that baby didn't last very long. But my whole life flashed before my eyes, and I got real emotional. And I have it's again, like when a childhood dream like that comes true and you're at this point in life, it's magical.
Yeah. Well, a new era comes new uniforms. I'm seeing new coaches' polos out here, and we've changed up the color a little bit. You told me before we went on, you said our colors were blue and gray. That's what we're wearing. Yeah. But it's kind of flip-flopped a little bit. Normally the primary color was blue. Now the primary color is gray.
Yeah, that's just one of my goals as a head coach was to make sure all this is a collaborative effort with me and the coaches and the athletic director and the kids in the community. So people like having a voice and a say. And so I listened, and that's something the kids want. And I think that if they want to look good, then I can demand that they play good. So
yeah. Hey, listen, I'm a big fan. When I first saw them, I was like, it's gray, it's not blue. Maybe they have grown on me since seeing them. And I'm a big fan of the new helmets this year as well. So what can we expect out of your team this year? I know new offense coming in, a lot of players maybe in different personnel and decisions to be made there. But what can we expect out of your team tonight?
I'm going to get, Joe Madden would always say, or John Madden would always say, all you got to do is score more points than the other team win the game. So I obviously want to score more points than the other team win the game. But no, we want to spread it around. We want to have fun playing football. But also, people keep asking me, how's the team look this year and stuff like that. And I'm not Nostradamus. I don't believe in predicting wins and stuff. I don't look at the schedule and figure out what I think our record's going to be. Our kids have practiced as hard as they could possibly practice for the last 4 weeks, and I can guarantee you that the guys on our field are going to be tough. And so we're learning a new offense. We're probably going to run the wrong way some here and there. Some mistakes are going to happen, but I think that our toughness and our physicality is going to show, and that's what I can guarantee.
People have been asking me the same thing too, and I sit there and I say, this team will be better at the end of the season, I guarantee it, than they will at the beginning of the season, for sure. And, with a new offense comes time, and I'm looking forward to seeing how this team kind of grows and evolves in this new strategy. But let's talk about the opponent here for just a second in the 100 Hornets. They kind of shocked us all a little bit last year with a 26-22 win, I believe it was, at home. What are you seeing on them this year that maybe they've taken away from last year, and what do you see that you think that they could be really good at this year?
They have a few good players, the Sleeth kid, the coach's kid, the number 5. But to be brutally honest, they had 2 kids on their team last year that put their team on their shoulders and they won that football game, and then they transferred over to North Marion or something. So they're not there, and so they're a totally different football team than that team that beat us last year. Sadly, I'd love to go at it with those guys. We've exited Odom. We've watched some tape on them, and honestly, at this point in the season, all you can watch is a scrimmage, so you don't always know what you're going to get as far as what the other team's like. So we've been really self-focused and just making sure we do what we need to do.
Yeah, it's always a little bit worrying when there's not enough tape on somebody, worried the trick plays are going to come out against you or anything like that. But, Coach, I'm looking forward to this season.
Yep.
All right, thank you.
Absolutely.
All right, that's the coach's interview here on WAJR.com. We'll be back with the kickoff.
For 150 years, Lang Monument has helped Morgantown area families honor their loved ones with beautiful monuments. I'm Rob Lang, and the dedication from my family that began in 1874 continues in 2024. From selection of granite, marble, or bronze to engraving and installation, a member of my family will be by your side for generations to come. Lang Monument, Don Knotts Boulevard, across from the Wharf District. See our selection online at langmonument.com.
This is Clay-Battelle High Cee-Bees football on WAJR.
Welcome back, and that was the pregame show here on WAJR.com. We are about 2 minutes away from kickoff. I see the captains standing out in midfield, waiting to be greeted by the 100 Hornets. And looks like here's the captains for the Cee-Bees. We got Braden Ponceroff, Maverick Gum, Josiah Morgan. I believe that is Alex Dancer, the center for the Clay-Battelle Cee-Bees. And those are big guys that you want as your captains, though.
They are. There's a lot of tall. Ponceroff is tall, Gum's tall, Morgan's tall, and then you got Dancer, who's no slouch by himself out there.
Yeah, and the captains for the 100 Hornets, we've got Trey Huggins, the quarterback for the Hornets, and I'm trying to see.
I think it's Jackson Huggins.
Jackson Huggins?
I think it's 18.
So
the other one.
So we got brothers or siblings, cousins,
some kind of relation.
Yeah, there's got to be some sort of relation. But it looks like the 100 Hornets will receive as we get set and ready to go for kickoff here. Kickoff is sponsored by Morgantown Printing and Binding. From printing, binding, and mailing to promotional items, custom signs, and wraps, MPB is your trusted printing company at mpbonline.com. And, Chance, we've been talking about this for months, haven't we? We are just amped and excited and ready to go. I'm just glad I got back to the thing on time so we don't actually go on the air on the first play like we did against Payton City, where we missed an onside kick attempt that was ended up being recovered by the Wildcats. But Coach Huffman always brags. He's like, I'm really glad you guys didn't broadcast that because I just felt so bad after. And I was like, it's okay. You won. That's fine as long as you win.
Now, at the same time, there's more changes we got coming. We got a whole new reclassification coming in WVSAC that we'll be able to talk out through the year. And I think that's some of the excitement me and you have, is some of the powerhouses that were in single A have now moved up. And I truly believe it's an open field. There's probably 4 powerhouses at the top that you figure are going to be there most years. But at the same time, I think it's an open field now for Clay-Battelle to possibly get out there and set themselves as one of them playoff perennial teams.
Braden Ponceroff is the one set to kick things off for the Clay-Battelle Cee-Bees as he tees it up at the left hash of the 40-yard line, waves his arms in the air, the whistle blows, and we are ready to go for kickoff as it's a nice little low skying kick, but it goes straight out of bounds, so that will be a penalty, and we will get the kickoff out of bounds here at about, I believe they take over at the 35-yard line, Chance. Is that the rule?
I do believe it's the 35.
All right, so it'll be first down and 10 here for the 100 Hornets at their own 35-yard line. Talked to the defensive coach during this offseason. I asked him, what kind of defense are you going to run formation-wise? He said a 4-2-5. Now, for those that don't understand that, that's 4 players on the defensive line, 2 linebackers, and then 5 guys in the secondary. So you're usually going to have a nickel corner, slot corner, if you will, 2 safeties, and then 2 main corners along with those 2 linebackers. You're going to have a guy that kind of acts as a hybrid corner/linebacker, and that looks like it's Caleb Snodgrass. All right, shotgun formation here for the 100 Hornets. The running back is to the quarterback's right. They send a tight end in motion. He fumbles the snap tries to get it on the exchange. He goes out of bounds, tackled by Maverick Gum. And it's going to be a minimal gain here. Actually, it's going to be a loss on the play of 1.
That's -3. I think.
Yeah, that's Trey Huggins on the quarterback keeper. It looks like he was trying to hand it off to his running back, Tyler Sleeth, on the motion. Tyler Sleeth, the coach's son, by the way. And looks like we're going to have a timeout here.
The line judge is going, hey, I'm at the 32. I don't know why that's still at the 35.
Yeah. So loss of 2 on the play, so it'll be second down and 12 here. Looking at that defensive line, I'm seeing Cooper Statler over at the left end position. I think I'm seeing Alex Dancer, maybe Gavin Tennant as well. Actually, I think that's Brody Willard on the play. All right, 2nd down and 12 here. They motion the Tyler Sleeth from right to left. It's a quarterback keeper as he's got some space to run. He goes out of bounds, though, and slides, gets back to almost the original line of scrimmage and gets past it. So it'll be 3rd down and 9 to go for the 100 Hornets. As
Ponceroff there shoved him out of bounds. He slipped on the sideline. Nice sign of sportsmanship. Went over and helped the guy up. That's always nice to see.
Yeah, and it's far sideline too, and that's now 100 sideline, as we know. 11:42 here in the opening quarter. We've just gotten underway. Still 0-0. The first possession here for the 100 Hornets, and we have a 3rd down and 8 as they break the huddle.
We do have a T.J. Barr. Looks like a true freshman playing one of the middle linebacker positions.
Yeah. Looks like 2 wide receivers to the left, the running back to the quarterback's right. He's going to roll to his right to the protection. He's got some pressure, but he's got a man open at the 40. Incomplete. He dropped it. Nice coverage there by Maverick Gum. And he forces a 4th down and 8. Got to imagine it's punt time here for the 100 Hornets.
I do see that, and it's a nice start for the Cee-Bees. After last year getting upset, is what I'll call it, at 100, it's nice to see him coming back here, getting the first stop on this first drive. And they didn't do a whole lot on offense. The defense swarmed around everything, which was a nice sign also. You can tell there's some speed on that defense.
Good defensive possession here for the Cee-Bees, as it looks like it is Josiah Morgan out to return the punt deep. Actually, no, that's Braden Ponceroff. The punter for the 100 Hornets fumbles the snap. It goes over his head. He tries to pick it up, and he's going to tuck it and run. He's got some space, but he's surrounded by Cee-Bees defenders, and he's tackled right at the
Alex Dancer.
I was about to say about the 11-yard line, and Alex Dancer tackles the punter. Pretty much you can call that a blocked punt, and Clay-Battelle takes their first possession in the red zone down at the 15-yard line. 1st down and 10 for Clay-Battelle. Things are going just as you would hope, Chance.
Agreed on that note. We looking at that, that's how you become a captain, you know what I mean? You make them small little plays like that when nobody else is around.
There's that big number 73 in there. Zach Gump over at the left tackle position. Cooper Statler over at the right tackle. Looks like we've got Cameron Mercer at the left guard and Alex Dancer at the center. 2 running backs, 1 on each side for Braden Ponceroff. 2 wide receivers, 1 on each side. He hands it off to Maverick Gum. Maverick Gum takes it across the 15 down to about the 12. Gain of 3 on the play for Maverick Gum. Nice play. 3 yards in the cloud of dust. Chance's favorite offense.
It is. Ain't nothing better than that. You know, you're looking down there, and we know Maverick can be a workhorse. Kind of seen it on that play there. You know, it took a couple guys to get him down.
Tyson Price is into the game now. Looks like they're going to have – nope, they're still going to have 2 guys in the backfield. Caleb Snodgrass to Ponceroff's right, Maverick Gum to his left. Little inverted veer action as he fakes the handoff. Ponceroff's got some room. He goes across the 5. Touchdown, Clay-Battelle. First points for Aaron Lapoe. First points of the season. And a new era of the Clay-Battelle Cee-Bees is underway. 6-0 for Clay-Battelle over the 100 Hornets with 10:44 left to go in the opening quarter. Nice little inverted veer action where basically what the quarterback does is he kind of stays put. He looks at the defensive end to see if he's going to hold. If he holds, he's going to tuck it himself, go inside, and if he pulls, he's going to hand it off to Maverick Gum to do a halfback sweep to the outside. Extra point set to go here for the Cee-Bees. Corey Cohen set to hold. Ponceroff to take the kick. It is up, and there's a flag. It is good, but there is a flag on the field.
Flag on the play.
False start on the offense.
You could possibly see it go for 2 because nothing against Ponceroff's kicking, but it's nothing not a pretty sight.
Yeah. It barely hit there. And Ponceroff is signaling 2. He wants 2.
And I
Landon
see
Savage.
some substitutions coming in. So
Yep, Savage, Corey Cohen coming into the game now. It looks like they are going to go for 2 here. By the way, Josiah Morgan switching his number from 7 to 5 in home games. He will be that normal number 7 in away games.
That is interesting.
Because we didn't get new away jerseys. We just got home jerseys. Athletic Director Kraft said, we're going to get the away jerseys next year. All right. Quarterback going to go for 2 here. It's a nice little speed option here. Quarterback keeps it, Ponser off, but he's going to go across the 5 and be tackled at about the 3, so 2-point conversion no good. But with 10:44 left to go, the Clay-Battelle Cee-Bees take a 6-0 lead over the 100 Hornets. And Chance, I mean, all good looking things so far here for Clay-Battelle on offense. That new offense is looking really good.
It is. I mean, you can see the speed and Ponser off he's able to use. You've got Gum, who we brought up the pass protection part, but the part we didn't bring up is on that give and take that he has with Gum, him and Ponser off. That's a nice blocker out there for him.
Yes, absolutely.
That allowed him to get to the edge on that touchdown.
So the second kickoff set to go here for the Clay-Battelle Cee-Bees. By the way, I think the biggest notice that you can see from these two teams is that a lot of kids on the sideline for Clay-Battelle. I think we've had about 1 to 2 more people here than we had on the roster last year. 100 Hornets. Coach said he had 1 more person this year than he did last year. But still, that sideline looking a little quiet.
It is. He did go in. He didn't go into specifics. 1 guy was suspended. 2 were ineligible. Don't know if it wasn't enough practices or what it was that made those. But 1 more, as you said. He did mention. He just kept mentioning the team chemistry. And when I hear that, that lets me know that they're not going to get down early because they're going to stay together as a family, which was a word he mentioned.
All right, kickoff set and ready to go here with 10:44 left to go in the opening quarter. Clay-Battelle has a 6-0 lead over the 100 Hornets. Ponserov stands back at the 33-yard line, set to kick off at the 40. He raises his hand, gets ready to go, and he boots it away. This time it's going to the left. Can it stay in bounds? It will not, so 100 will have it again at the 35.
I mean, maybe that's a strategy. I don't
know
because
possibly
they can't return it on you if it keeps going out of bounds.
I also said I'm going to see how many times with Maverick Gum I can make Top Gun references this year.
This will be interesting to see.
Over, under on Top Gun references, you can bet at home.
Sure. I think we can at least do easy 8 over.
For the season or for today?
Just today. I think
today?
Just today.
I don't know about 8. That's pushing it. That means I'm really trying hard to do it.
I'll help you out.
Okay.
We'll get there. Never know when we may need a flyby.
First down and 10 here for the 100 Hornets. They line up in a shotgun formation. The fullback, Jackson Huggins, is to the quarterback to the left. 2 wide receivers to the left. In motion, 1 of the wide receivers is a nice little slot jet touch pass here. That is to Joey Wade, and Joey Wade does get a couple of yards, but he'll be tackled by Maverick Gum at about the 39-yard line. Nice gain of 4 on the play for the Hornets, and it will be 2nd down and 6.
It is. Here, once again, mentioning on Maverick Gum, forcing him to the outside.
I'm pretty sure he's the tackling leader so far here for the Cee-Bees.
I have been keeping my eye on 28, that freshman I mentioned, TJ Barr. Just seeing how he's doing out there. He seems to have a good grasp of the defense, actually pointing thing out to his teammates. So it looks like to me we may have somebody to develop over the next couple of years.
All right, shotgun formation here. They motion Joey Wade in again, and they're going to hand it off to the fullback, Jackson Huggins here, and he is just met at a stone wall there by number 54. That is Cameron Mercer. He just stood that boy up, didn't say, do you want to dance? He just took him to the floor.
An impressive tackle, too. Rounding him up, didn't give him nowhere to go. They may have been talking where they were going to have dinner with later, maybe steak and shake later on. We've got to get out of here a little bit early.
3rd down and 4 here for the 100 Hornets. It was a gain of 1 on the play at their own 41-yard line. Snap is back. It looks like it's going to be a screen pass. He's going to try and throw it deep. He's got a man wide open, but broken up. Who is it? But the Savage Lands of Landon Savage. And it forces a 4th down and 4 here for the 100 Hornets. Nice break up there, playing the ball there by Landon Savage.
You should know not to throw out there. I just don't know what it is.
Enter the Savage Lands at your own risk.
That's where completions go to die.
All right, it'll be 4th down and 4 here, and a little bit of a decision here if you're head coach Jason Sleeth. Do you think about going for it, maybe?
I think he's going for it looking right now. I didn't see no
The snap went over your head as the punter. You know, you're down 6-0. You've been able to move the ball a little bit. Let's see what they can do here. They do line up like they're going to go for it. They motion the wide receiver, Joey Wade. It's going to be a quarterback keeper, and he's met right at the line of scrimmage. Who else
62.
but Cooper Statler and Maverick Gum? And it's a turnover on downs for the Clay-Battelle Cee-Bees as they take over in opponent territory at the 41-yard line.
Cooper Statler stood up, pointed back the other way to let them know that was first down Clay-Battelle, just in case they were confused.
All right.
Now, hold on here. Are we going to have – I was looking at the spot there.
It's actually at the 42-yard line. So Brody Willard, and it looks like TJ Barr coming out here for the Cee-Bees on defense as they make their offensive substitutions. Trips receivers to the right, one to the left. The one to the left is Josiah Morgan. Maverick Gum to Ponceroff's right. The snap is good as Ponceroff rolls out to his right. He's looking, and he finds, Tyson Price right in his hands and dropped it. Would have been a first down, but it's incomplete and 2nd down and 10. That's all right. New wrinkles to the offense. You're going to have these little mistakes, but time to make them now.
Agreed.
Better than late in the year.
And I can also tell you that the pass was on. That was just a miscatch, which over the season I do believe that, Price is going to come down with that.
Listen, when you're young and new to a position like Tyson Price, going from running back to wide receiver, you're used to having that ball in your hands. He may have been thinking, all right, what am I going to do with this when I catch it? Got to reel that in first. All right, 2nd down and 10 here for the Cee-Bees. Double running backs, one on each side of Maverick Gum and Caleb Snodgrass. Snodgrass takes the ball on the handoff. He gets across the 40-yard line, goes down to the 35, breaks a couple tackles along the way. The instigator, as the coaching staff has called him, gets a nice gain of 5, and we are at 3rd down and 5 here for Clay-Battelle. So interesting to see here what they call. But
actually,
you know what? I love this.
Give them
7 on that. Okay. I love this team right here, seeing what they show. He comes back from getting that carry. He's flexing. His teammates are hugging him, slapping him on the helmet. Everybody's amped and ready to go. You got to love to see that. All right, trips receivers to the right here. Josiah Morgan, the lone receiver to the left. Maverick Gum to Ponceroff's right in a shotgun formation. He hands it off, straight run to Maverick Gum. Maverick Gum's got some speed. He's at the 25, at the 20, down to the 15, and runs out of bounds. Nice carry there for Maverick Gum and a little inside zone play, straightaway handoff. And it'll be a 1st down and 10 here at the 14-yard line into the red zone. Caleb Snodgrass coming back into the game now for Clay-Battelle. Maverick Gum going to get a little bit of a breather.
There's a 21-yard run after that. It's hot out here this evening. You don't want them cramping up or getting tired later on. Get them over here, get them some water.
Clay-Battelle driving with 8:03 left to go in the opening quarter. Snodgrass to the quarterback's left, 2 receivers on each side. Ponceroff takes the snap. He hands it off to Snodgrass. He's going to be met at the line of scrimmage. I think this one's going to be a loss on the play. Tackled by number 5, Dustin Pierce on the play. And it'll be 2nd down and about, 13 here. Loss of 3 on the play. Just dancing a little too much at that line of scrimmage, Caleb Snodgrass. You just got to get it and go. Or bounce to the outside, one of the two. Trips receivers to the right here. Snodgrass to Ponceroff's right. The lone receiver to the left is Josiah Morgan. Snap is back. Looks like it's going to be a pass play. Ponceroff rolls to his right. Savage. He's got a man open. Savage had it, but nice deflection there by Trey Huggins, the quarterback, reading the play there at the safety position, and it'll be 3rd down and 13 here for Clay-Battelle. Now, this is a tricky situation here. Based off that extra point, you would say that
it's 4-down territory.
It's 4-down territory, yeah. So you don't want to get a play.
You can shorten it up.
Mm-hmm. I don't see Maverick Gum back in on that play. He's still on the sidelines. Snodgrass still in the game at the running back position. Trips receivers to the right, 1 to the left. Josiah Morgan to the left. Ponceroff takes the snap. Straight drop pass here. He's looking towards the end zone. He's got Savage in there, but it's broken up once again by Trey Huggins. 4th down, and it's sideline warning here. Blocking below the waist by Cooper Statler. And the penalty is declined, so it'll be 4th down and 13 here at about the 18-yard line. The difficult position about this is that, you want to go ahead and get the first down, but the first down marker's at the 4, so you might as well just draw up a play that gets you into the end zone. If you get the first down, great. If you get the touchdown, even better.
Agreed.
Trips receivers to the right here. A guy for 100 jumped, so that'll move it about 5 yards. Get 5 yards closer. We always like to have that. Maverick Gum here still on the sidelines for Clay-Battelle, and that'll be something we need to watch here for the Cee-Bees.
I think Coach has been wanting to see just a little bit more of what he can do in the passing attack.
I tend to agree.
Maverick's a little bit more run-based for his offense.
Coach Lapoe is going to call timeout here and talk things over. I think that's a good idea. All right, we'll take the timeout with him. With 7:16 left to go here in the opening quarter, Cee-Bees are driving, and they lead 6-0. We'll be back here on WAJR.com.
And quick action, and so is Mon Health's ER. Whether it's a minor injury or something more serious, we're ready to get you back in the game. No delays or unnecessary timeouts, just top-notch care that puts you first. When you need care, don't get stuck on the sidelines. Head to Mon Health, where fast wait times are our winning play. Choose Mon Health. Feel the difference. Visit monhealth.com for real-time wait times today. Breathing easy is key both on and off the field. At Mon Health, our pulmonary care team tackles everything from asthma to complex respiratory conditions, delivering personalized, comprehensive care. Our expert physicians work together to break down your treatment options so you and your loved ones can make the right play for your health. Ready to breathe easy? Schedule your appointment today at monhealth.com/pulmonary. Choose Mon Health. Feel the difference.
This is Clay-Battelle High Cee-Bees football on WAJR.
Welcome back to Clay-Battelle as they face a 4th down and about 8 here at the, 13-yard line. The line to gain is the 4. As they line up in a shotgun formation here. Trips receivers to the right. Maverick Gum to the quarterback's right. He's straight drop back, throws it towards Josiah Morgan. Almost intercepted there. And it'll be incomplete and a turnover on downs. I like the play call there, but I feel like Ponceroff just stared down Josiah Morgan a little bit too long, allowed the safety to kind of close that gap. It was a good pass, right on the money. It's just good coverage there by Trey Huggins. That's 3 straight, by the way, by Trey Huggins.
He done a double pump. Safety got an eye on it, and he's lucky. To be honest with you, he's lucky I wasn't picking off running.
Didn't intercept it, yeah. All right, 7 minutes and 11 seconds left to go here in the opening quarter. 100 has their worst field position of the night so far, taking over at their own 12-yard line, 1st down and 10. But we've had 2 offsetting turnovers on downs, so kind of even things out from the first drive to the next drive. But first drive was run-heavy, second drive was pass-heavy. You tend to also think, we talk about this, Maverick Gum was making tackle after tackle on defense, then coming in on offense expected to do those carries. It's probably why he was out of gas there.
Like you said, made 3 straight tackles, I think. Then he turns around, he goes down, runs a 21-yard run. I'd say he needed
in this heat.
And I'd say it was also a chance for Coach Lapoe to kind of see what the passing attack had. I don't think he's exactly happy right now with it, but that's where you go and you make them adjustments on the sideline and go to what was working. 2 of the passes were on just great plays by number 1. That last one there, though, Ponceroff did stare down Morgan just a little bit too much.
All right. So let's see what 100 can do on their 3rd possession of the game here. 1st down and 10. By the way, I got to say, I'm pretty impressed with the showing by number 28, T.J. Barr, a freshman at middle linebacker so far.
He's been doing a great job of calling things out at the line. I've noticed that with him big time.
All right, shotgun formation here for 100. They line up with 4 wide receivers. Nice little jet toss pass here. Good tackle there by Toothman, Damian Toothman. Still a decent gain on the play of 3. I think it was a good read there. Who was that on the carry there, Chance? Was that Joey Wade?
That was number 2. That was Sleeth.
That was Sleeth? Okay.
That was Sleeth on that.
Sleeth made the right decision to cut upfield and not go towards the sidelines, but honestly, just good defending there by Toothman.
Great tackle.
Great technique for a guy who's only been playing football this year. All right, 2nd down and 7 here. 2 receivers to the left. Sleeth goes in motion from the slot. They're going to straightaway pass here. He's going to throw it deep down the field. Snodgrass turns his head, and it is incomplete. Nice job there by Snodgrass on the coverage. The intended receiver was Riley Halford. You were a little bit worried there, but I think you heard the crowd say, "Turn your head," when the ball was in the air, and he did exactly that. Looked up, saw the ball, played the ball. You're allowed to touch the guy a little bit as long as the ball is not in the air.
And, I mean, he pretty well just put his body in between. You knew it was underthrowing, put it to where only he could reach to it. I mean, he got to the point he could have almost gotten an offensive pass interference. There was a lot of contact there. But at that point in time, if you're in front of the ball instead of the offensive player, that penalty will lead their way.
3rd down and 7 here for the 100 Hornets. 2 receivers to the right, to the left, 1 to the right. They send Sleeth, the slot receiver, in motion. They throw it towards the line to gain. Overthrown. The intended receiver there was Joey Wade. Ponceroff was there on the coverage, and to tell you the truth, the only reason Ponceroff was closer to that ball than Wade was is because Ponceroff's about 3 inches taller. The ball was way overthrown there. This is probably punting territory because you don't want to give the ball away here in the red zone on a 4th down and 7. Ponceroff is back deep here, and it looks like the punter is going back there, Joey Wade. It did go over the punter's head the last time. It's a good snap this time as he boots the ball away, but it's a skying kick. It's not going to be very tall as it bounces at about the 26 over to the 25. And that is where the Clay-Battelle Cee-Bees will take over at the opponent 26-yard line. Not a great punt, but it still backs them up a little bit there, but good discipline there from the Cee-Bees to be able to just kind of turn their heads, make sure they got sight of the ball, and get away from it.
It is. I mean, if you look at 100, you held them. It's almost like gaining 12 yards. You back them up 12. They get a fresh shot at it. I do believe you're going to see a fresh dose of Maverick gum here, though.
Absolutely. 6:03 left to go in the first quarter. Clay-Battelle leads by a score of 6-0 over the 100 Hornets. The Cee-Bees have the ball at the opponent 26-yard line. 2 running backs, 1 on each side for Ponceroff. 2 wide receivers, 1 on each side. They hand it off to Maverick Gum. He scoots across the 25, over to the 20, runs across a tackler. He's still going. There is a flag on the play. It's probably going to be another chop block here. And it is going to be holding on the offense here. So that'll be a 10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul, and it was at like the 18-yard line, so that's only going to back them up to about the 28, so it'll be 1st down and about 11 here for the Cee-Bees.
He backed it all the way up to the 35.
35, wow.
He went to the 35 with it.
Okay. So it'll be 1st down and 19 here for the Cee-Bees.
I will do an interesting stat right now. Both quarterbacks 0 for 8.
Yeah.
Nobody
not completed a pass.
Not completed a pass. The only positive part of that is not throwing an interception.
Yeah, that is very true. All right, 1 receiver on each side, a running back on each side. Tyson Price is the tight end. They hand it off to Snodgrass. Snodgrass gets a block. He gets cuts across the 30 over to the 26, about the original line of scrimmage, so it'll be 2nd down and 10. Snodgrass he's got some elusiveness to him. He's just got to build up that kind of vision. You can tell he's only a sophomore. 5:09 left to go here in the first quarter. Clay-Battelle leads by a score of 6-0. 2nd down and 10 for the Cee-Bees. same formation here. Actually, it's going to be a little bit more tight. Toothman is lined up as a tight end, and Tyson Price lined up as the split end, running back on each side. Little inverted veer to Maverick Gum. He takes the straightaway handoff. He gets across the 20, over to the 15, across the 10, cuts across to the sideline. Is he in?
Marks him down at the 1-inch line.
Looks like he's going to be short, but it'll be first down and goal.
26-yard run. He'll take that, though.
Yes, he is, but his hand is on his hips. Will they reward the run?
Now, we'll tell you this. The reason he ran down there, Snodgrass done a phenomenal – Guy had that play blew up, and Snodgrass just gave him a little chip, enough to give him off bounds. Gum cut in. That guy went flying by. Gum right up to the 1-inch line.
Excellent blocking there by Snodgrass. All right. One wide receiver out wide here to the right, running back on each side, about 2 tight ends to the left. They hand it off to Gum. Gum breaks across, and he's in for the touchdown. Clay-Battelle takes a 12-0 lead with 4:22 left to go in the opening quarter. You could tell that was going to be a touchdown. The offensive line was 2 yards into the end zone there.
But that's, I mean, when you start talking about how good of a run Gum is, and he's a power back, if your offensive line's getting 2 yards on the push, that 3 yards in a cloud of dust, as you talk about with me, I mean, that's what it's about right there, is your big nasties up front winning the battle.
I got to say, the player that's surprised me the most has been Caleb Snodgrass so far. Nice deflection there on the offensive end. They're going to go for 2 here. Trips receivers in tight to the right. They're going to fake a toss play here to Maverick Gum. Ponceroff keeps it himself. He's in for the 2-point conversion, and it's a 14-0 lead for the Clay-Battelle Cee-Bees. Nice little play design there, Chance. The offensive line moves like it's going to be a toss. He just fakes the jolt there to Maverick Gum. Everybody's thinking it's going to go to Maverick Gum because Ponceroff shouldn't go to the inside. He takes it himself. You only need 2.5 yards, and he gets in there for the 2-point conversion.
It is, and that, you know, and as you said, impressive play.
Yeah.
Maybe not the outcome. You got the 2-point conversion. Only got about 3 yards on that play, but that
That's all
got
you
you
need.
2 points.
Because that's normally one of the main criticisms of a spread option offense is that when it's a short yardage package and the field can be condensed, it's harder to move the ball. Well, Clay-Battelle showed that they can easily get the ball into the end zone from a short yardage perspective.
And I can tell you this offense is ran by a lot of what I consider your top tier in your single and double A's because it allows you to get your athletes in the open and be a little bit more where it's one-on-one with your best player versus maybe their 4th or 5th best player, because a lot of times you end up sticking your best player at safety at quarterback, and it gives you a little bit more space, a little bit more running room.
Chance, I'm going to completely flip the subject.
Yep.
It's hot. It's hot.
It's extremely hot.
I'm sweating.
I'm
honestly, where's some wood? Knock on wood here. I'm impressed nobody has gone down with a cramp.
I agree with you on that. That may have been
but it is only the first quarter at the same time.
It may have been why Gum was sitting over here drinking a whole bunch of water, too. Now, I did notice also that Zach Gump didn't play pretty well the first 3 series. They started to, get him in a little bit more, and I think maybe this heat they may have been wanting to
ease him in a little bit.
Because I know the last time he was over here, he had a sickness, and I don't know if he's fully recovered from that. So, I mean, it could be one of those. He just hadn't got all the practices he needed to.
Best kick of the night so far by Ponceroff, but it's received by 100 straight off the air. But it's great coverage there by the Cee-Bees. That was number 55, Carson Moore, on the tackle there by the Cee-Bees. And 100, will take over at their own 32-yard line. Chance, I think the name of the game so far has been field position. The average starting distance for Clay-Battelle has probably been, 25 yards?
25, and I'm pretty sure number 5 may have hollered over to Ponceroff just to kick it out of bounds next time. Because he got cremated at the end of that one.
Well, that number 5 is lined up at the tight end position here. They're lined up in a power I formation with 2 fullbacks and a running back. The tailback back deep is Tyler Sleeth. They motion one of the fullbacks over to the split end spot. They hand it off to Huggins. Huggins rumbles forward and gets flipped by the freshman. T.J. Barr, and he is tackled at the 35-yard line. Gain of 2 on the play. It'll be second down and 8 for the 100 Hornets.
I'll give credit to Austin Hayes there on 100 on that side. Open up the hole. I know it looks like you got 3 out of it there. I need to adjust my stats, but it was a nice block by him.
Yeah, actually, you're right. 3 on the play there for the Hornets. I'll tell you what, this Barr kid is really impressing me, and he's also so short that he can just fit into the gap there and nobody will see.
I agreed with that.
Power I formation again here. Hard count. They hand it off to Huggins again, but he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage. Maybe got a gain of 1 as he falls forward. It'll be third down, in about 6 with 3:20 and a running clock left to go in the opening quarter. With all these passes, Chance, the clock has stopped, and this first quarter really hasn't gone by that much.
Yeah, did you look over? You're thinking to yourself, it's 3:09 to go in the second.
And it's 7:30.
Yeah, it's 7:30, and we're still in the first quarter, but you're right, 8 incomplete passes. But that happens sometimes, and as much as the coaches may not think about it when they're running them plays, when they don't complete them, you can see Gum out there, hand on his hips. This is early in the season. Mm-hmm. You're liable to start seeing cramps or boys starting to come to that sideline going, give me a breather, coach.
Power I formation again. They motion out one of the fullbacks. They do a toss play to Tyler Sleeth. Sleeth gets back to the line of scrimmage. Actually, a loss on the play down at the 35 there.
Cameron Mercer again.
Tackled by Cameron Mercer. Boy, we've been saying his name a lot tonight on the defensive side for the Cee-Bees, and that'll bring up 4th down and 7 here for the Hornets. Let's see what they do. I got a feeling that they might go for it.
No more than I've seen out of their punter at this point in time, I go for it. Because you're out by the 35 at this time. What's another 10 yards?
Ponceroff is not going back deep to receive the punt. And I agree with him.
He's at about their punter's death from what we've seen. So.
That is true. All right, power I formation again. They're going to do a straight. Nope, they're going to fake the toss. 5 is wide open. He makes the first completed catch. It will be a first down, tackled by Maverick Gum at midfield. And it will be a first down for the 100 Hornets. Great play design, faking that toss to the left, running upfield to the right to kind of roll out that pass. The tight end was left all alone here. That's Colt Sandy on the reception for the 100 Hornets. And for the first time this game, they have the ball in opponent territory at the 49.
And that is also our first completion of the night.
By either side.
By either side. And Sandy came off there. Nobody went with him. He was wide open the entire time.
All right. Power I. They motion one of the fullbacks out to a tight end position. They're going to hand it off to Huggins here. Huggins bulldozes his way forward. And Chance, if you didn't know where Huggins is, those lime green cleats should tell you all you need to know about where he is.
Got lime green gloves to match to go along with it, too.
Gain of 1 down to the 48 on the play. 2nd down and 9 here for the Hornets. As we approach the final minute here in the first quarter, could probably do about 1 or 2 more snaps. And I'm sure they're only going to do 1 because they probably want that drink.
I agree with you. I agree with just that statement altogether. Let's just get out of this quarter.
You don't have to move the ball very far. I'm sure the refs are saying the same thing.
They want to drink also.
All right, same formation, 2 fullbacks and a tailback. They motion one of the fullbacks to the left. It's going to be a QB boot. He's got some space to run. He gets across the 45 over to the 40 into the line of gain and steps out of bounds at the 25 with 25 seconds left to go. Down to the 39-yard line. 100 putting together the best drive they've had so far here. And it's those runs to the outside.
And I know this seems weird. Lapoe may almost want to call a timeout right now. Get the timeout, get a minute break, run 1 play. They're going to get another break. I ain't going to lie to you. The defense is starting to look a little bit tired here. He beat him to that corner right there. If he'd had much more space, he'd been going. And that coach,
I see Maverick Gum huffing and puffing out there. They are tired. All right, 25.6 seconds left to go. They line up in the same formation. Power I. They motion. Nope, not going to motion the fullback. They're going to hand it off straight to him. Nice hit there by Ponceroff, but the damage is done. They get a decent gain on the play of about 7. Actually, I think that's about 8. So it'll be 2nd down and 2. That'll be the final play of the first quarter as both teams look to be going to the sideline. Yep. 4, 3, 2, 1, and that is the end of the first quarter. We'll take a quick break and come back. You are listening to Clay-Battelle Cee-Bees football here on WAJR.com with the score, Clay-Battelle 14, 100-0.
For over 2 decades, Morgantown Power Sports has been serving Morgantown and the surrounding area, providing the highest customer service and overall value in the power sports industry. Home to Honda, Yamaha, Suzuki, Kawasaki, and KTM. You'll find everything you need for your on- and off-road enjoyment, including a full line of parts and accessories. Morgantown Power Sports, a proud supporter of high school athletics, on the mile ground or online at morgantownpowersports.com.
For 150 years, Lang Monument has helped Morgantown area families honor their loved ones with beautiful monuments. I'm Rob Lang, and the dedication from my family that began in 1874 continues in 2024. From selection of granite, marble, or bronze to engraving and installation, a member of my family will be by your side for generations to come. Lang Monument, Don Knotts Boulevard, across from the Wharf District. See our selection online at langmonument.com.
When the whistle blows, your favorite player will be ready, but will you look the part? MPB Print and Sign Superstore helps you support your favorite team or player with personalized gear. Cheer them on in style with custom apparel for teams, players, and families. Don't stop there. Complete your look with some custom bags, flags, signs, and stickers. Not going to the field? Brand some apparel for your upcoming event or fundraiser. All at mpbonline.com. A proud supporter of high school athletics.
This is Clay-Battelle High Cee-Bees football on WAJR.
Welcome back to Clay-Battelle High School, where we are at the second quarter of play, and Clay-Battelle leads by a score of 14-0 over the 100 Hornets. Once again, Ethan Collins, and the family affair continues with Chance Collins at the color commentary position. Chance, we were talking over the break. This defense looks a little gassed, if I'm being honest, for Clay-Battelle.
Yeah, that's what I was even mentioning. Call a timeout, get them a little bit longer break, get a break, run a play, and get back over here and get a break. But, hopefully we got this breather. We did see some animation, as I mentioned earlier, by the new coaching staff that we may see. And there was definitely some animation by the defensive coordinator on how they were playing them last couple plays.
So 100 will have a second down and about 2.5 here in the first play of the second quarter in opponent territory down at the 32-yard line. The line to gain is about the 29.5.
And it will be interesting to see. We brought up the point that 100's only got 14 players.
Let's see how much they might get gassed here in the second half.
Yep.
All right, that power I formation has been working here so far for the 100 Hornets, and if they've shown no signs of stopping it, they're not going to change it. So they line up in that same formation. They hand it off to Huggins. Huggins gets across the line to gain and down at the 28-yard line. It'll be first down for 100. As we run the clock here a little bit here in the second quarter.
Yeah, just trying to be methodical there. Give what the defense will give you.
As we're still getting the chain gang going here a little bit. We're trying to get it figured out here. Brad Howe always says this on Game Line. We have all this technology in the game. Why has it still resorted to flat out a chain that is 10 feet long? All right, first down and 10 here for the 100 Hornets. Still looks like they're going on a little bit of a hard count. Quarterback keeper here. And who was that grabbed him by the tail of his jersey there?
Is that 1665? Is that Willard? Or
I think that was 52. I think that was Dancer on the play.
I thought that was Brody Willard.
You think that was Brody Willard?
I think that was Brody Willard.
No, it was Brody Willard, 65. That's 62. That's Cooper Statler.
Cooper Statler, okay.
Second and 10.
Wasn't Statler 70 last year?
Yes.
Because that's playing with me right
now.
now.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. It played with me a little bit too.
Who ran that ball on that play? Did you see that?
That was number one. That was the quarterback keeper. I think that was a miscommunication there. I think the play was to the right, and everybody else thought it was to the left, so the quarterback had to just kind of keep it himself. No gain on the play, second down. I thought the tight end jumped on that play as the pass is completed to the tight end there. That is number 5, Colt Sandy. Both passes have been completed to him as they had good coverage on the play, but it honestly could have been pass interference because he had his hands around him while he was making that catch.
He was there, just that guy bodied him off and was almost like a basketball play there.
Third down and about 3 here for the 100 Hornets. The line to gain is the 18.5. They're lined up at about the 21.5. 9:50 left to go here in the half. Power I formation, 2 fullbacks, 1 running back. The fullbacks are Joey Wade and Jackson Huggins. The running back is Tyler Sleeth. Hard count. They hand it off to Jackson Huggins, and he is going to be stopped. Met at the line of scrimmage by a host of Cee-Bees. I think that's Cooper Statler. No, actually, I think that's Alex Dancer that got the initial tackle there. And it's going to actually be a loss of 1 on the play, and it'll be 4th down and 4 here for the Hornets.
Was that 18 on the run that time?
Yes.
All right, I'm slacking a little bit on my stats here, so I apologize.
It's all right. It's all right.
My old age may be setting in. I don't know if I'm seeing the numbers as clear as it did. Y'all getting that big pile, and I can't tell who's coming out of it. I know you looked at me. You gave me a monocular over here. Maybe I need to start using it.
Well, I got them in my hands if you want them.
No, I got my, what is it, monocular or whatever?
Monocular?
Yeah, I got my one.
All right, same formation here. They're going to go for it on 4th down, roll it out to the left. He throws it completed to the fullback. He's got some space to run, and he's going to be met just short of the goal line, but it will be 1st down and goal for the 100 Hornets. Pass completed to Joey Wade. Good play design. I mean, this has been good coaching here by Coach Sleeth and the 100 Hornets. He's really he's not panicked. He's not tried to get this all back at once. He's like, okay, let's just get back and see what works. And we're going to ride that until they get stopped.
He discovered something with that tight end drag, and it's something the Cee-Bees are going to have to adjust to because it's been there. It's open every time.
Power I here. Looks like they're going on a hard count every time, too. That's Jackson Huggins on the carry. He's been good for about 1 or 2 yards every time as he gets down to about the half-yard line, and it'll bring up 2nd down and goal. The ball was at about the 2.5-yard line, and he gets at least a gain of 2 on the play. All right, this is where the weight room shows its colors here. If you're Clay-Battelle.
Almost surprised not to see Gump out there to just stick him over the center.
Yeah. All right, here we go. Stacked formation here for the Hornets. They're going to do a sneak.
Fumble on the snap.
Did he fumble it?
Or did he?
Nope, he got it. He's in for the touchdown. Number 1, that is Trey Huggins on the quarterback keeper. And he will go into the end zone, touchdown 100. And just like that, it's a 1-score game.
I thought it was a fumble. I believe he jumped that quick.
7:59 left to go in the half here. The score is now 14-6 in favor of Clay-Battelle. 100 just had their first good offensive drive, and I'll tell you what, I feel like that started with what time is left in the first quarter, and they've just kind of ridden this formation all the way to the end.
That was an 8-minute and 18-second drive.
This is an interesting formation here. They're lining up in a wildcat with the tight end set to take the snap here. He gets across the line of scrimmage. I don't think he's going to get there. 2-point conversion, no good. Colt Sandy, he is listed as a quarterback on the roster, so that's something we got to watch out for too. He has been their main receiver on the day. Their biggest chunk plays have come from Colt Sandy.
No, but when it comes to trick plays, as you're saying, which we've seen 100 run, I believe, last year and got us on a couple, that's definitely something to keep an eye on.
Hey, listen, they can't win this game if you keep scoring. And so far the offense has done pretty well. They've run into some trouble when they get into that red zone. But as of right now, I mean, these guys just kind of look gassed a little bit on the play.
I would agree with that right now. The conditioning, we're starting to wonder if his heat got to him. You got the excitement of the first game of the season. Sometimes you drain your body early. It'd be interesting to see here. It'd be nice to get a bounce-back drive, put one in the end zone.
Taking a look at these guys on the sideline. You know,
like I said, you just got to turn around, get back here on offense. You've looked good on offense. Take it down, put one in the end zone. Take about a 6-minute drive, put one in the end zone, leave them no time to drive on you. Go in at halftime.
Well, to tell you the truth, I mean, outside of this, I mean, you could probably score in 2 minutes, and if you pin them deep, they're not going to have enough time to score.
You say that, but at the same time, that wide tight end drag's been there for him.
Yeah.
And it's wide open, and it scares me a little bit.
I think it's been there because of the fact that they're focused on stopping the run.
And that could
If you sit there and you say, okay, you can run it, take your 3 yards and a cloud of dust, we're still up by 7 or 2 scores. If you score here, you're up by 2 scores. You say, all right, come on.
Nope,
you get the ball to start the second half as well.
You're going to play a different defense because of that.
All right. Kickoff set to go here for the 100 Hornets as they do a sky little short kick there, and it goes out of bounds. That was really close to being recovered, almost too close for my comfort.
I agree. You at least gotta chop that guy that's coming in there if you think it's going out of bounds.
It does go out of bounds, though, and Clay-Battelle will take over at their own 35-yard line, the deepest field position they've had to do so far. That's honestly what worries me the most about this drive coming up. These guys look gassed. They haven't had to play more than 30 yards to score a touchdown.
So let's see.
Now you've got 65.
Yep. It means you're going to have to put a drive together even if you're tired and work your way down the field. And I'll give credit to the 100 team. There's a couple with their hands on the hips, but I tell you what, they look fresher at this point in time. They may have been doing some more hay bales out there in that country field. There's weight room strength, and then there's hay field strength.
As Landon Savage is coming out, Snodgrass is coming in. A little late substitution here. You've got 13 seconds left on the play clock. As they break the huddle with 10, they got to hustle. A little confusion on where to line up. You got 5. You're handing it off to Maverick Gum. He scoots across the line of scrimmage, gets across the 40-yard line, keeps on chugging. And he's down at about the 42-yard line. Line to gain is the 45.
He carried 2 to 3 players for another 3 to 4 yards there.
So about 7 or 8 on the play there for Clay-Battelle. So it'll be 2nd down and 2. 7:30 left to go here in the half. Your score, Clay-Battelle 14. 106. Clay-Battelle with their furthest field that they've had to go so far. Running back on each side or wide receiver on each side. Tight end to the right. We're going to drop back to pass here. Ponceroff throws it deep down the middle. He's got Toothman. It's caught at the 35. Cuts across the middle. Cuts back across to the sideline. He's juking him.
To the middle.
He keeps going, and he's down at the 10. Who said that man's never played football before? How about that?
I'm pretty sure that's a 50-yard reception by him.
Damian Toothman there on the reception for the Cee-Bees. The first pass completed of the Aaron Lapoe era. The first pass completed of Ponceroff's next step at quarterback.
And you know the thing is, that first completion, when that's where your first year at that could break him open there.
All right, so we're down to 7 minutes left to go here in the half. They break the huddle with a running back on each side. The tight end is Price. He's to the left. Wide receiver on each side. They're going to hand it off to Gum. Gum scoots to the left. He feels the need for speed, and he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Clay-Battelle.
There's reference number 2.
Got it. 6.5 left to go in the second quarter, and Clay-Battelle is back to a 2-score ball game where they have a 20-6 lead. I hope Maverick's parents don't mind the Top Gun references. You got to think, though, with a name like Maverick, you had to expect the references coming.
I wouldn't be surprised if the name itself may not be coming from references of it.
They're calling a personal foul on number 55 of Clay-Battelle.
Which is Carson Moore.
Mm-hmm.
I believe that was after the touchdown. Because
marked on the kickoff, so you still have the 2-point conversion. I would say that they're going to try an extra point again. Nope. They're going to go for it. They're going to go for 2. All right, so let's see what they got here. Savage coming in. Snodgrass coming out. They break the huddle. Maverick gone the lone man in the backfield. We've got 2 receivers to the right, 1 to the left. They roll out to the right. It's a quarterback keeper. Ponceroff's got some room, and he is in virtually untouched. Breaks 1 tackle off a spin, and he's into the end zone. 2-point conversion good for the Cee-Bees, and they take a 22-6 lead. Well, how about that for a drive, huh, Chance?
Very impressive to come out and get that quick score, especially as tired as they were looking. Now we just need to take some of that energy and put it on defense, and we'll be in good shape.
I got to say, it's a good new wrinkle into this offense. And like you said, Chance, you got to get that first completion. 100 was lining up close to that box. They said, you can't pass, so we're just going to stop the run. When you do that, it opens up a whole new dimension to this offense because now you have to have a safety up top to cover the deep ball.
Yes, it does. And it works both ways. You kind of seen that with 100. They were struggling with the run. Awesome music by whoever's working the PA system right now with some Halloween music going on here, I think.
It's August, Chance. It's August.
It's always Halloween at my house. You know that.
Oh, I know that, but it's August.
Now, at the same time, 100 started doing that with that tight end drag that they've got open, and it's opened up the running attack, opened up the passing attack, and now it's all about adjustments, which will go to the new coaching staff that we have. It's going to be whoever goes in at halftime maybe at this game and starts making those adjustments could be big.
So with the penalty, the ball will be moved back to the 25-yard line on the kickoff. As we get ready. With 6:31 left to go here in the half, Clay-Battelle leads by a score of 22-6 over the 100 Hornets in this Stinger Bowl.
I know the water table's getting plenty of work over here on this side.
These girls who probably are sitting there going, I didn't sign up for this.
That's right.
Don't worry, ladies. You'll become less and less used as the season wears on.
I don't know. That one water girl down there, she's getting serious about this. She's getting her hair back in a ponytail. She's ready to go.
Kickoff is away. It's booted and received at the 30-yard line. That is Joey Wade. Joey breaks a couple tackles, and he gets met by a whole host of Cee-Bees. And, guys, when that whistle blows, you got to lay off of him. Tackled at about the 40-yard line, or actually about the 41-yard line, and that is where 100 will take over with 6:24 left to go in this half. I love little number 8, Briston Reed, going over there to receive the kicking tee.
I missed that on that one.
Just watch the next kickoff, because I'm sure that won't be the last time we score.
I hope you're right on that note.
100 at the 41-yard line, best field position they've had to start a drive so far. They line up in that power I formation that's worked so well for them. They motion one of the fullbacks out wide to the tight end. Looks like it's Jackson Huggins there on the carry.
He has 7 carries for 9 yards, if that shows you how their offense has been on the run game for a little bit, but he's keeping them honest because if they don't key on him, that big boy can get trucking.
All right, so 2nd down and 10 here for 100 as we approach 6 minutes left to go in the half. All right, they line up in that power I formation again. 2nd down and 10. Going to be a QB boot on the play. Quarterback Huggins gets across the 45 over to the 50, tackled by Toothman, out of bounds. But he does get across the sticks into opponent territory down to the 46-yard line, first down and 10 for the 100 Hornets.
Nice 12-yard run by him. Doubled his outage so far. He had 12 yards up to that point. Now 24.
That play particularly works because you're faking the handoff to, I'm going to just assume that Trey and Jackson are brothers. So Trey is faking the handoff to Jackson, and he's just rolling out to the outside, which freezes the linebackers before they have to come out. Now, a new wrinkle to this would be if you hand it off to Jackson and then fake like you're going to roll out to, once again, keep those linebackers honest. Same formation here. They hand it off to the other fullback, actually. That is Joey Wade. And Joey, I don't know if he got back to the line of scrimmage. They're going to say he did, but it is no gain on the play. It's second down and 10 here for the Hornets. They substitute the Cee-Bees. Josh Wilson coming out. And I think that was Carson Moore in. So a defensive line substitution. I like to see that. 5 minutes left to go here in the half. And this is what I mean, Chance. You still got 45, 47 yards left to go before you're in the end zone, and you only got 5 minutes to do it. Don't be surprised if you see that play-action pass here. Toss sweep play here to Tyler Sleeth, the tailback, and he is going to be tackled by Toothman in the backfield right at midfield. If you would have told me that kid had never played football before, I would have told me you're lying.
I would agree with you because
that's excellent technique.
I've seen everything from tackling to the receiving to just how he's playing. I mean, he seems like he's book smart to go along with it. And up here we got 3rd and 13 coming up for the 100 Hornets.
Yeah, 4 minutes left to go here in the half. 3rd down.
I believe you opened the door up. We may have some star power coming in the back door here for an interview
athletes,
at halftime.
I'm out, folks.
You may not want to leave
the
at halftime.
The superstars taking over. Oh, timeout here. I'll tell you what.
Let's
bring him in early.
Let's bring him in. Hey, here you go.
Yeah, we're going to give him the headset?
Give him the headset.
Mr. Zach Hall, how are you doing?
Oh, I'm pretty good. How are you?
I'm doing just fine. So let's talk about what your dad told me a little bit earlier. You miss football?
Oh, yeah.
He told me you were missing it.
Oh, yeah. It sucks sitting here watching it.
Well, I was about to say, when was the last time you watched a Cee-Bees game from a sideline?
With my knee, yeah.
No. Sorry, not even on the sideline, in the stands.
Probably my 8th grade year watching Carson.
Yeah? You weren't on the sidelines when you were in middle school being a water boy running around?
No, I was hanging out in the stands.
But, let's talk about college for a second. How's college life treating you? Is it a good adjustment?
Yeah, it's adjusting good. Glenville is pretty similar to here, so I like it, yeah.
Well, Chance and I always talk about Glenville is just like middle of nowhere.
It really is.
You ain't got anything for miles.
Yeah.
But from what I understand, I mean, they seem like they're treating you okay as far as I guess facilities and stuff like that. They give you plenty of stuff to do.
Oh yeah.
I mean, you're a collegiate athlete, and
there's not much time.
Yeah, we know how collegiate athletes work. What do you think of this game so far?
I think they look good. They look fast. The offense looks powerful. And
you don't think the conditioning's a problem? They look a little tired, don't they?
A little bit.
A little bit?
First game, that happens.
Yeah. All right. 3rd down and 12 here for the 100 Hornets. I'll let Zach come in and do some color with me because we know if coaching doesn't work out, he can certainly come in the booth with us. Full house formation here. You see one of the defensive linemen bouncing off the tackle as he rolls out on a play action. Tipped by Snodgrass. Excellent deflection there and pass defending there by Caleb Snodgrass to deflect that pass away, and it'll come up as 4th down here for the 100 Hornets. What'd you see on that? Come on, I need the player perspective.
It looks like the zone was pretty good.
Yeah?
They were calling out pretty well.
What do you think of the new uniforms? Do you wish you would have had those?
I like the blue.
You like the blue?
I do like the blue better.
Okay, well, I'm going to ask this. I looked. Well, actually, you know what? Let's do this 4th down play here for just a second as we're approaching 3:48 left to go in the half. It does look like they're going to go for it here. As they line up with 4 wide receivers, 2 in tight, 1 on each side. The running back is to the quarterback's right. They set the wide receiver on the left in motion to the right. They roll out to pass. He's pressured. runs to his right, going to throw it deep, and it is caught. Savage and Riley Halford in a jump ball, and Halford just kind of boxed him out like a basketball pass, and he ends up being able to get the 4th down conversion. That's a gain of about, 26 yards on the play. 1st down and 10 here for 100. But, okay, so first thing I was going to ask you is that when I first took a look at the roster this year, I saw number 2, and I saw the last name Hall. And I said, wait a minute. Caleb Hall. Now, he's your cousin, I'm assuming, right? Does he know the shoes that he has to fill on that roster
I think
number?
he's been told a little bit, but he's got it.
All right, 1st down and 10 here for 100. They line up back in a shotgun formation. They motion Sleeth from the slot to the running back position and hand it off. But great recognition there by the Clay-Battelle defense. And it is number 55. That is Carson Moore on the tackle for loss. He tried to celebrate by doing a punch in the air, but he was trying to be careful because there was a 100 guy right there and he didn't want to punch him. So, they've got classes going for you so far.
Yep.
Probably just basic prerequisites so far. I know that's what they did with me.
Yeah, pretty much. I'm going into education. So
physical education.
I'm pretty much in there right now. Though,
Oh, okay, I got you.
Most of my classes, because I got some of it done in high school.
Oh, well, that's excellent. All right, 2nd down and about 14 here, 15 for 100. They line up like they're going to pass. Actually, it's going to be a quarterback keeper as Trey Huggins gets met at about the 30-yard line. It's going to be another loss on the play. I think that was Alex Dancer. Man, Chance, I'm starting to think we might have a player of the game vote early so far. And Zach, you can even chip in on this. Dancer seems like he has improved fathoms from last year, especially on the defensive side.
I totally agree. He's looking faster than he has ever been.
All right, they line up in the full house package, a power I formation on the 30-yard line. 3rd down and 14 here for the Hornets. They're going to do that rollout pass action, and it's intercepted. Intercepted by the Cee-Bees. And it's a big ugly. It's a big boy interception. Trying to see who it is. It's number 54. That is Cameron Mercer on the interception. Those two guys, I think, have just improved fathoms on the play. Those two are going to go back and forth here, and that is exactly the turnover. You know, games are won in turnovers, and you just gave yourself with the ability to pass the way that you do with 1:30 left to go here in this half, a chance for yourself to score and go up by 3 scores. All right. Now, I know this is your forte, so you can chime in on this a little bit better. Offense is more your forte. Potteroff lines up to pass. Straight drop back. Toothman, he had him open, but just a little bit overthrown. Zach, we have been talking about this kid all night, raving about the fact that we cannot believe that kid has never played football before.
He's an athlete.
Yeah, for sure. And it just comes natural to him. Mm-hmm. I mean, even on the defensive side, the ability to hold and use that technique, the tackling is there.
He's got the build for it, too.
Absolutely. It kind of reminds me a little bit of maybe a skinnier Gad.
I see Mason Chisler in him.
Chisler? I like that. That's a good comparison. As it looks like Snodgrass is going to take the handoff here. And he's going to bounce off a few tacklers there. A flag on the play as he gets across the sticks down to about the 38-yard line, but I think it's coming back here. You think Toothman? And he just went, oh. You hear the crowd noise down below us, too. Well, yeah, I did. You are correct. Now, Zach, when I look at Snodgrass, maybe not attitude-wise, because he is the instigator after all, but I see a lot of that shiftiness that you had.
Oh, yeah, I do too. He's quick, and he can move side to side very well.
And you just see it with every carry that he's getting. He's getting smarter and smarter with his vision.
First carry, he needed to hit the hole a little faster, but he's been doing it better each run.
Start the clock. Start the clock.
As we hear from the referees to start the clock, 1 minute, 10 seconds left to go here in this first half. It was a dead ball. All right, first down and 10 here for Clay-Battelle. The clock is rolling, under a minute left. They're going to do a toss jet pass here to Tyson Price. Does a little stutter step, gets across the 40 and fumbles the football. And it is going to be recovered by the 100 Hornets. And he is kicking himself. You see that from Tyson. And you just hate to see that from a kid who's really worked so hard this offseason.
Good speed there, too.
Yeah, good speed, excellent direction, and he just fumbled the football. I mean, you're going to these are the hard lessons that you have to learn, but you got to pick yourself up, get back on there. Hey, look at that. Look who's in the game here. Number 2. It's Caleb Hall at corner. All right. So let's see how he does here. I'm going to ask you to watch him the whole time. All right, power I formation here for the 100 Hornets. First down and 10 in opponent territory. They hand it off. I believe that's Jackson Huggins on the play. If he got anything, he got 1, but I don't think he got anything. So going back to Snodgrass, I mean, what is it about just carries and seeing and improving your vision on that you don't get in practice, that you only get in games? What is it about improving over that time?
Game speed is so much different, and especially for our school, we don't have all the kids to be able to play full 11-on-11 live.
Mm-hmm.
So getting that game experience and getting those carries in will really improve him over the season.
All right, play-action pass here for the Hornets as it goes over the head of the intended receiver. That's Joey Wade, incomplete. Maverick Gum was right there to tackle him if he did catch that pass. And it will be third down and 10 here for Clay-Battelle. For 100. All right, so a timeout, 400. I believe that gives them 1 left with 4.8 seconds left, so this will probably be the final play of the half here. So talk to me about what they got you doing, because I'm not exactly sure how college track works, mainly because at WVU we don't have a track team.
Yeah.
So what exactly do they have you doing in the off season that I guess keeps you conditioned and keeps your speed going?
This was the first week of lifting we had. Mm-hmm. We've been doing 6 a.m. lifts on Mondays. And
are you an early bird?
No,
I'm not either.
Not, but it's good to go in there with the team and go get the weight up. But we've been doing those, and the next week we transition into lifts and running conditioning. And that's the start of our season, and we will go all the way until the end of track season.
So is track season not necessarily in conditioning and practice and stuff, because I know collegiate athletes, it is always an all-year thing. But when does exactly the meets and stuff start? Do you guys have like an indoor track season as opposed to an outdoor track season? When do those go?
I believe we have 7 indoor meets and 7 outdoor meets, so it's basically 2 seasons. We start in December, and then after December we roll right into outdoor track, which is good.
Yeah, and I hear you've been seeing some of the football players at Glenville State practice, and you're sitting there going, man, I could just walk on, play some slide.
It would be fun.
Yeah.
It would be fun. It's a different kind of environment out there.
All right, third down and 10 here for the 100 Hornets. They line up in a shotgun formation. This will probably be a Hail Mary pass as they look to throw it straight ahead to number 5. It's going to be almost intercepted. It goes straight through the hands of Ponsroth. And that's what happens when you play quarterback. You don't get those wide receiver reps, I guess you could say, and that is halftime.
He don't got the gloves on this year.
He doesn't. That is true. He doesn't have the gloves on this year. So that is halftime with the score 22 to Clay-Battelle and 106. So we'll ask you just a couple more questions here, Zach. First off, we've gotten to know your family over these broadcasts, and we can just tell that they're extremely proud of you, and we're really happy to have another Hall as a member of the family. And it's honestly a blessing that he's number 2, because now I can just register it. Unfortunately, after he goes, I'm always going to associate the number 2 with the Hall family. So, but I mean, let me just ask you this. I mean, I know you're not an only child. I was an only child, so it was hard for my parents to kind of adjust to being gone, I guess you could say. How are you and your family adjusted to you not being at home?
I think Mom's taking it pretty hard.
That's how
I gotta call her every night, keep up with her, but
that's how moms always feel. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm the baby, so I think it's harder for her than it was whenever Allie first left because she got adapted into that a little bit. But
I got you. Dorms. You have AC, right?
I do have AC.
Oh, thank
yes.
God.
It's freezing in there.
I had no AC in my freshman dorm.
That would be terrible.
At Borman in WVU, and I got to tell you, on a weekend like tonight, it's a good thing I'm at WVU because I probably would have been camping in the blue lot because it probably would have been cooler in there than it would have been in my dorm. But I figured with you being an athlete, they probably wouldn't have wanted to put you in a dorm with no AC.
Yeah, I got put in a single dorm, so I'm by myself, which is very nice, yeah.
Nice. You like that?
Yeah.
Okay, some people don't like that.
I mean, I missed out on the experience of getting a roommate to be your first friend when you're down there.
Well, do you have you probably have suite mates?
I have a suite mate, yeah, but he's a football player. I never see him. Our schedules are just
just jumbled.
Colliding, yeah.
Yeah, I gotcha. Well, I mean, anything else that you want to say on the broadcast? I'm sure your grandma's listening.
I don't know. She might be. Probably just to hear you guys talk.
Well, we appreciate that, and tell her to make you some chocolate chip cookies on us. Okay.
I don't know if I should be eating them right now, but I will.
That's true. Do they have a dietitian and stuff at Gilmer County?
You can get one, but I'm kind of. I don't know. I don't really like the dorm food that much anyway. So.
From what I understand, you're pretty close to as a gym rat as they come.
Yeah.
So you're probably taking care of your body and stuff like that. Well, Zach, it's an honor to see you here. I'm glad you came back and talked to us on air. And listen, he's going to be gone some games. So if you want to come back and just fill his spot, I'll fire him. I don't care. He's family. I don't care if I have to see him, but it's always good to see you, buddy.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, thank you. All right, that is halftime here on WAJR.com. We're approaching 17 and a half minutes left to go. We'll be back here on WAJR.com.
Ready to stay in the game without digestive issues slowing you down? Mod Health brings state-of-the-art care and equipment to tackle your digestive discomfort. We'll help you navigate your GI playbook from lab tests to endoscopies with personalized care every step of the way. Don't fumble when it comes to your health. Call 304-598-2700 to get seen sooner. Choose Mod Health, the winning team for digestive care.
Health works for you, for rehab and fitness too.
Keeping high school athletes healthy is something that HealthWorks Rehab and Fitness takes great pride in. That's why our certified athletic trainers work with many area schools during practice and on the sidelines during tonight's game. Unfortunately, injuries do happen in sports, at work, and at home. At HealthWorks, our goal remains the same, to get you back in action. When you need physical therapy, you need HealthWorks. HealthWorks Rehab and Fitness, Morgantown, Westover, Cheat Lake, Blacksville, Smithfield, Waynesburg, Fairmont, and Buchanan. When your body hurts, go to HealthWorks.
Our people make the difference in the way you feel each day. When your body hurts, go to HealthWorks.
For 150 years, Lang Monument has helped Morgantown area families honor their loved ones with beautiful monuments. I'm Rob Lang, and the dedication from my family that began in 1874 continues in 2024. From selection of granite, marble, or bronze to engraving and installation, a member of my family will be by your side for generations to come. Lang Monument, Don Knotts Boulevard, across from the Wharf District. See our selection online at langmonument.com.
Game day is all about fast moves and quick action, and so is Mon Health's ER. Whether it's a minor injury or something more serious, we're ready to get you back in the game. No delays or unnecessary timeouts, just top-notch care that puts you first. When you need care, don't get stuck on the sidelines. Head to Mon Health, where fast wait times are our winning play. Choose Mon Health. Feel the difference. Visit monhealth.com for real-time wait times today. Breathing easy is key both on and off the field. At Mon Health, our pulmonary care team tackles everything from asthma to complex respiratory conditions, delivering personalized, comprehensive care. Our expert physicians work together to break down your treatment options so you and your loved ones can make the right play for your health. Ready to breathe easy? Schedule your appointment today at monhealth.com/pulmonary. Choose Mon Health. Feel the difference.
This is the WHAR Halftime Show, presented by the Mon Health System. Feel the difference.
Welcome back to Clay-Battelle High School as we're approaching about 14 minutes left here to go at halftime. And your score, Clay-Battelle 22, the 100 Hornets 6. Chance, I'm going to ask you to go ahead and give me some stats here.
The biggest stat right off the bat I want to go with, we was talking about Clay-Battelle being wore out, and I'm going to move straight into time of possession. 100 has held the ball 17 of the 24 minutes we've been playing.
Wow.
We've only had it for 7. That's something I know later on in the season we're going to need to do a better job of for sure, but it's also something to keep an eye on. As we mentioned, it takes a lot more energy to play defense than it does offense. Then we'll move on to the 100 statistic sheet. We've got Huggins at quarterback, 3 of 11 for 64 yards and interception. Huggins at the quarterback position is also their leading rusher. He has 8 carries for 24 yards and a TD. And then in the receiving, we have Wade with 2 catches for 41 yards. Then we move over to the Cee-Bees on offense. Leading passer is Ponserall. He has 1 pass for 50 yards. Rushing is Gum, 6 carries, 69 yards, 2 TDs. And Toothman receiving 1 for 50. I mean, there hasn't been a whole lot of excitement in the passing game, but we can also mention we've had a lot of excitement in one play because Toothman, I think, showed what we're capable of in the passing attack with that 1 catch for 50 yards. And the first 2 to 3, I really feel was just good defense. Ponseroff put it on there. I think it may have had him lose a little bit of confidence being his first game at quarterback, and I think it's something we're going to see him grow. We go to defense. You know, my old Savage lands over there. Landon Savage has been all over the receivers that he's been covering, but they've been able to body him out because they've got some taller, bigger receivers. He'll have to work on the point of trying to get in front of them, but I'm also pretty sure that, you know, teaching as a defensive back.
It's very hard to get in front of guys because you get in front of them, they can beat you deep.
Yep, I understand. They've been toss-up balls, and like I said, I know coaches will always teach a cornerback, just keep the receiver in front of you, and they've made – I mean, he deflected one of them, and it was a tip drill, and the guy still came down with it, so not completely his fault at all. You brought up the point, looking down at the 100 band as we go here. One of the football players is actually playing in the band, which is always one of them nice things to see you don't see in college football anymore for sure, is to see some member of the football team out there playing. Overall, though, that time of possession just sticks out to me. 17 minutes to 7 minutes is, I mean, that's keeping the ball for over 1 quarter yourself on that field. And, I mean, granted, they are running. You've got the other Huggins kid, the 18, has 8 carries for 9 yards. Like, he hasn't done anything, but it's the point of we have to key on that. Thinking big picture as the season goes along. The offensive line and defensive line play for Clay-Battelle have been really, really good. Their defensive line almost looks to the point of you can rush the passer with the 4 defensive linemen.
Oh, yeah.
Like everybody else can play the pass if we get into one of them situations.
It seems like, I mean, in the trenches, Clay-Battelle is winning that battle.
Agreed.
Because, yeah, I believe it's Jackson. Jackson Huggins has he's been able to do a little bit. But as you said, how many carries for how many yards?
If Jackson Huggins, that's the 18, he has 8 carries for 9 yards. Just a big boy up the middle.
Yeah.
That's been wearing on him. But, I mean, they hit that, and then they turn around. You've got 8 carries for 24 yards by the other Huggins kid. Then you've got 5 carries for a negative 3 yards for Slate. And then you've got Wade coming in with 2 carries for 12 yards, who, you know, probably statistically is their better better rusher there because he's averaging 6 yards a carry, while the Huggins kids, who I had as the leading rusher at 24 yards, took him 8 carries to get there. He's only 3 yards carry.
All right. Well, I'm having a little bit of trouble uploading the other score, so we'll take a quick break here, and when we come back, I'll see if I can get some other high school scores going up. But 10 minutes left to go in the half here. You are with the score, Clay-Battelle 22, 106. You are listening to Clay-Battelle Cee-Bees football here on WAJR.com.
This is the WAJR.
Breathing easy is key both on and off the field. At Mon Health, our pulmonary care team tackles everything from asthma to complex respiratory conditions, delivering personalized, comprehensive care. Our expert physicians work together to break down your treatment options so you and your loved ones can make the right play for your health. Ready to breathe easy? Schedule your appointment today at monhealth.com/pulmonary. Choose Mon Health. Feel the difference. Ready to stay in the game without digestive issues slowing you down? Mon Health brings state-of-the-art care and equipment to tackle your digestive discomfort. We'll help you navigate your GI playbook from lab tests to endoscopies with personalized care every step of the way. Don't fumble when it comes to your health. Call 304-598-2700 to get seen sooner. Choose Mon Health, the winning team for digestive care.
For 150 years, Lang Monument has helped Morgantown area families honor their loved ones with beautiful monuments. I'm Rob Lang, and the dedication from my family that began in 1874 continues in 2024. From selection of granite, marble, or bronze to engraving and installation, a member of my family will be by your side for generations to come. Lang Monument, Don Knotts Boulevard, across from the Wharf District. See our selection online at langmonument.com.
Health works for you, for rehab and fitness too.
Keeping high school athletes healthy is something that HealthWorks Rehab and Fitness takes great pride in. That's why our certified athletic trainers work with many area schools during practice and on the sidelines during tonight's game. Unfortunately, injuries do happen in sports, at work, and at home. At HealthWorks, our goal remains the same, to get you back in action. When you need physical therapy, you need HealthWorks. HealthWorks Rehab and Fitness, Morgantown, Westover, Cheat Lake, Blacksville, Smithfield, Waynesburg, Fairmont, and Buchanan. When your body hurts, go to HealthWorks.
Our people make the difference in the way you feel each day. When your body hurts, go to HealthWorks.
Now back to the Mon Health System halftime report on WAJR.
Welcome back to WAJR.com's halftime coverage here of the Clay-Battelle Cee-Bees and the 100 Hornets, the Singer Bowl, as I've dubbed it, where Clay-Battelle leads by a score of 22-6. Chance, there's just a lot of traffic going on at the Metro News website for high school football, so we're not able to get you some scores. But I do have one score for you. My alum, Williamstown Yellow Jackets on top of Ravenswood, 34-0 at halftime.
That is impressive, is what I will say. We know
without my man crush, without your man crush.
Yeah, without my man crush, that is definitely a shocker. We know that Williamstown never rebuilds; they just reload.
Even in Double A.
Even in Double A, if I'm correct, checking Metro News earlier this week, they're number one in the was it Powerhouse Points or however they do
I didn't rank them number one.
Power Index.
I can tell you that.
But I mean, they'll definitely come back.
Kyle Wiggs didn't rank him number one. I can tell you that. Luke Wiggs didn't rank him number one. I can tell you that.
Makes you wonder
and
how they got there.
Daniel Woods didn't rank him number one. I can tell you that as well. So it begs the question: did everybody else rank Williamstown number one? I ranked them sixth.
It's one of them. If you know they're returning some players, and they're the state champions, maybe they deserve that respect. You know what I mean? At that point in time, I don't know who. I'm trying to remember right now, and I was even there in Wheeling. Who the Double A champion was last year? If they moved up,
it was Fairmont Senior.
They moved up
to Triple A. But actually, no, I don't think North Marion did move up. I think they did move up to Triple A as well. I mean, that's something that we can get into. The classifications. here in West Virginia have just been an absolute fiasco, as they say. I mean,
I was talking to a friend of mine that's, I think, Frankfurt alum, and he was bringing up the point, or at least he lives in Frankfurt at this time, it's not an alum, and he was bringing up the point that they scheduled, if I'm correct, Frankfurt scheduled a AAA schedule, and now they got dropped down to AA. So now they're going to be playing this AAA schedule, and they're like, yeah, we're going to get bonus points if we win, but we're also playing a schedule that's extremely rougher than we would have had to if we would have known about the drop-down classification.
Well, you're playing Williamstown. I mean, that's one AA school that you're going to get to play on a AA.
and at the same time, they also, the other look at it was a lot of the teams that scheduled them as a AAA team thinking it would be AAA points because they were in
Oh,
AAA.
You mean like Williamstown?
Yeah.
Who scheduled them, who scheduled Ravenswood, who is still AA. But they also scheduled St. Mary's, who is now single A. They scheduled Tyler Consolidated, who is now single A.
And that, really plays into them playoff points that if you're not,
It's the difference between hosting a semifinal and going to a semifinal.
It is. And I hate to think that some high school student athlete is going to have that trouble of having to travel to a game that he shouldn't have if the points just would have stayed the same. I did hear rumors that those that fell down, if you played them as a single A and they were supposed to be double A, that WVSSAC was thinking about still giving you AA points for that win. But I don't know how you do that because then it reverses the other way to the other classifications trying to get in of looking at it like, now they're getting more points than they should.
Well, let's focus on something that's actually, you know what? This is my last thing, and I'll leave it at this for this week, I guess. But the problem that I have with this is not the fact that these teams moved down. I actually do believe that St. Mary's deserves to be single A. I believe that Tyler Consolidated deserves to be single A. Maybe less so than St. Mary's. But at the same time, as an athletic competitive standpoint, maybe I do think St. Mary's is AA. It's a very convoluted and biased thing that you can look at no matter how you look at the rankings. And I don't have a problem with moving them from AA down to single A. What I have a problem with is them not doing this in June, in May, right after basketball season, something instead of 2 weeks before the regular season starts.
And it is. I think there's a lot of people, even those teams that got the move down, are not crazy about the point that, like I said, Frankfurt scheduling a AAA when they could have scheduled a AA schedule and things like that. And it is trying to think of how to word it, but it's like it's one of them situations that it's negative for both teams. Unless you're moving down to that classification, you're happy you're moving down, but you don't know what you may be scheduled in the process. And there's several teams like Lincoln, I think it was, moved from triple to double, and they, no doubt in my mind, deserve that. When you start looking at the formula they were using, it was all just because they were next to a big city
like Bridgeport.
But let's be honest on that point. There ain't no kid leaving Bridgeport.
But
to go to
at the
Lincoln.
same time, though, you've got now 16 teams in Quad A, and you can go 0-10 and still make the playoffs.
It is. But
there are teams like John Marshall who were in Quad A but don't think that they can compete at any level, which I get it, but at the same time, and Preston County, which no fault to them, but at the same time, when you look at student enrollment, which is the main thing that constitutes what this classification thing goes on, John Marshall, Preston County, they have 1,200 to 1,500 kids.
They do, and that's one.
And they're in AAA.
I've got family in Preston County, and I've traveled in Preston County plenty of times. And I'd like to talk to the school board over there to come up with the bright idea of making that one high school, because
I can tell you why, and this gets into politics and news area, but. Breaking news, there's a teacher shortage here in West Virginia, and you just can't get enough staff that lives in Preston County to properly staff 2 high schools. It's just not possible.
And on that note, it makes perfectly good sense, but we always say it's about the students. And when a student's got to get up at 4:30 in the morning to get on a school bus
I completely
and travel
understand
an hour
what
and a
you're
half
saying.
to 2 hours on a school bus to a school, if he wants to play football, He's now going to turn around and have practice after, and he's got to have a family that can now make that, not on a school bus, on a regular vehicle, still an hour to an hour and 15-minute trip to the high school to pick him up afterwards and bring him home. The kid's getting home at 8 o'clock, and he's got to sit around. He's got to do his, the part of the student athlete. He's got to keep up with his homework before he turns around and does it all over again. But even, as I've gotten older, I could tell you that, I used to go to bed at midnight, 1 o'clock, back up at 4:30, and it never bothered me. But even on a young kid, when education should be our main priority, even though it seems at times, athletics have taken that over.
Let me put that in perspective towards you, because I'm going to give you the other side into why it works at Preston County. Why it works the way that it does. If you're in a East and West Preston County, and say that there is a West Preston County or East Preston County kid way out there that wants to be in the drama program, wants to be in school plays and stuff like that. Sorry, we don't have a teacher in either West or East Preston County that can teach high school drama, so we don't have a drama program. Well, then it's on that kid to either say, well, I guess I'm not doing drama, or he can go an hour and a half to Morgantown or University just so they can have a drama program.
I mean, when you bring that up, though, there's a lot of kids in Brewston that go to University High School because it's a 30-minute drive to University High School, whereas if they go to Preston County High School.
Well, I know a guy who works part-time at our company that did that. He lived in Brewston Mills and went to University High School.
Like, I know it's different counties, and I don't know how you get, the political and financial structure of the thing, but there's some part of me that, that area of Brewston should just be incorporated into University High School, because if our main goal, which it should always be, is
for
these
the students,
that only makes sense for them kids. I mean, like I said, I got a friend right now that he lives, I think, out one of them roads. All I can remember is out next to M&M Bakery, which is a small bakery out there. Makes awesome cinnamon rolls. I'll, pop a little bit out of sponsorship for them. But at the same time, his kid's getting on the bus at 6 when school don't start to 10 till 8. I'd love for his kids to maybe go to a middle school or something in Morgantown, because it's going to cut their bus ride an hour each way, which is going to give him 2 more hours at home with his kids.
Well, I'm going to completely flip this, and we're going to go to one school in particular. And it's a school, and this pertains to Clay-Battelle, because we are the Clay-Battelle Network, as we approach about 1 minute left to go. And this has to do with the Payton City issue. Payton City was on Clay-Battelle's schedule. They found out in, I think it was early July, that they weren't going to have a school because of some issue that was going on in the school. As Payton City usually does, they fought it and they got their school back. Well, the problem is that Clay-Battelle scheduled a different team because they didn't want to have 9 games on their schedule and wait around till the last minute. They scheduled Trinity Christian, which, by the way, I'm very excited for. We get to do a crosstown rival here in Morgantown. It's actually going to be a closer drive for us because it's in Trinity.
Yeah, I'm going to be about, 3 minutes from the ball field.
But Payton City got a win last night for showing up as football players. And this will happen every time until somebody plays them, or they may go into this season undefeated because everybody took them off their schedule and scheduled somebody else. And it's going to be a difficult thing. I don't know if there is a scenario where you can win in that.
Once again, we branch off into the politic thing, which that I love to talk about in my spare time. But, at the same time, I don't want to bring it on to here. And, because I understand people tune in here for football. But it is, everything I've heard was, if I'm correct, there was a member of the Board of Education that made the choice to shut that school down, overreached their power. And the parents of Payton City had every right to do what they did. It was legally justified to get their school back, and I love it for those kids. But if you're telling me that a team's going to be 10-0 because they've never played anybody and sneak into the playoffs somehow versus a team that has played 10 ball games, that's going to be a problem. Guess we're getting ready for kickoff.
All right, second half set and ready to go. The whistles blow. Clay-Battelle set to receive. Nice little pooch kick over. Looks like Toothman's going to get it here at about the 45. Can he get a nice securing thing on the ball? Let's see here. Please wave one way or another. They're not going to, but I believe it's Clay-Battelle football.
I was going to say, as long as he ain't pointing the 100 way, I'm going to feel confident right now. But that was scary.
And teams are going to see that on film, by the way.
Yes, they will. That's something that Coach Lapoe and his team is going to have to work on there for sure.
All right, so first down and 10 here from your own 35-yard line. Clay-Battelle takes over with 1 second ticked off the game clock here in the second half. Clay-Battelle leads by a score of 22-6. One receiver on each side, a running back on each side for the Cee-Bees. Ponceroff takes a snap, hands it off to Maverick Gum. Maverick Gum waits for his blocks to develop, gets across the 40, across the 45, across the sticks, and down at about the 48-yard line. Nice gain of about 13 on the play.
That's what I'm giving him to. And it is unbelievable to watch that kid in his sight of how he sees the run. He'll follow that blocker until the last second and move, and that is hard to teach them.
Hey, we've got our first cramp.
And that would be Cameron Mercer. Which the coach just waved at him and said, you know what, boy, just go to the ground. We're going to take a minute. We're going to come out.
And they're stretching it. It's a cramp. We knew this was going to happen, Chance.
We did. And, you go into that locker room and you're able to
sit around for a little bit.
Everything starts to tighten up. And I brought up myself that 17 minutes of the 24 minutes of time of possession was 100. And as good as Cameron was on defense, he was playing 17 minutes on defense during that quarter, or 2 quarters.
Not to mention the fact that he's playing both ways. I mean,
do got an update. Tug Valley 14 at Mingo Central 6.
That's a final.
That's a final.
That played yesterday.
All right, Oak Hill over Nicholas County 14-0. Weir over Oak Glen 40-21. Grafton and Philip Barber still at 0. Summers County 15, Pikeview 7. Just trying to give some updates here while we got a cramp. Shady Springs 0, Roane County 7. It'd be interesting to watch Roane County this year. I kind of want to see how they do. I believe they're in double. Tulsa and Wayne at 0. Wyoming East and Westside at 0. Ravenswood, well, you have a better update. This was Williamstown 20 to zip. We know that's 34 zip now. Let me see if we
Man, that is a really bad cramp there for Dancer.
They do got him on his feet, though.
I think the trainers, though, are laughing it off because they know exactly what it is, and there's nothing that you can do about it.
Well, here's one for you. Wahama 14, East Hardy 8. That could be an early upset, in my opinion.
Well, a lot of people had Wahama as a state contender. I know they lost Van Meter, but I guess they have their other weapon back.
They do have their other way. I just didn't see them without Van Meter being there, but here we go.
All right, back to action here. First down and 10 for Clay-Battelle. They line up in a shotgun formation, 2 receivers, 1 on each side, a running back on each side. They do a sweep play to Maverick Gum. He gets across the 50, tackled at the legs, down to the 49. Nice gain of about 4 on the play. And Chance, he's not going to blow you away with his speed, but he's a very direct runner. You can very easily tell that this is a running back who has good vision, knows exactly where he needs and when he needs to hit the hole, and is just a freaking workhorse, man. He can break tackles left and right. You got to get square with him in order to bring him down, or tackle him by the shoelaces, which is what they did right there.
He's a kid nobody wants to hit.
Second down and 6. Same formation here, but they're going to hand it off to Snodgrass. Snodgrass cuts across the 45, gets tackled, grabbed at his legs, but I think he's going to get the first down here. And, Chance, I think we are seeing a running back grow between our very eyes here.
He is very elusive for his size, and he's got a little bit of that speed. I know you were talking to Zach Hall.
Yeah.
I handed my headset over to him, but you can see that, and you think about how, I've only been here 2 years. I don't know if you had a year in before me, but it's the point of we've seen how Hall grew over them 2 years, and now we get to see this kid grow, and I think it's going to be something. His senior year, he'll be something fun to watch. He's already fun to watch, but
he gets the handoff again. Blocked at the 40. Nice block there by Josiah Morgan. You see that at the line of scrimmage. Sleeth just looked like he was going to get the tackle, but Josiah Morgan got a nice block to the side there and knocked him down. And he's able to get a solid gain there of about 30, down to the 34. And it's a gain of, I want to say, about 8, because it's 2nd down and 2. Same formation, Tyson Price, the tight end on the right side, and Snodgrass is to the right side. Maverick Gum to the left. Going to fake the handoff. It's going to be a quarterback keeper. Breaks a couple tackles. Ponceroff gets across the sticks, across the 35, and down to about the 32. Nice little drive going here, and now we have our first 100 cramp of the night. And that is a big one, too. That is Colt Sandy.
That's a
number 5.
Big loss for them if he's got to take a couple plays off. And we will give Ponceroff some credit here. I mean, we look at his passing stats, not that impressive at this time. 1 completion.
That'll grow. That'll grow.
But the one thing I can tell you is there's been a couple times I could question his decision on the keeper to hand off. He seems to be growing into that also with this new offense. He seems, as the game has progressed, to have been doing a much better job of when to give it to Gum and when to keep it himself.
Well, I can tell you from practice or watching a film session with Coach Lapoe, he said this, and I quote, "Don't worry about the decision. You're going to make some mistakes on whether you made the right decision to hand it off or to keep it. You got to live with those and learn to grow in the offense." And that's exactly what he's doing in the same game, mind you. This is only going to get better as time wears on. By the way, Mercer is still down with that cramp on the sidelines too. As looks like Colt Sandy is up on his own power, and he might stay in the game here. I'm not sure.
I think he's got to take at least one play.
He's looking like he's going to limp off to the sideline. I think the rule is that you actually do have to take one play off. All right, so first down and 10 here for Clay-Battelle at the 28-yard line. Maverick Gum to the quarterback's left. They have trips receivers to the right. They're going to do a shovel pass here to Landon Savage. He's got some space at the 20, the 10. There's a flag on the play down at the 5.
Are they going to call a hold on
Josiah Morgan? I didn't see what constituted a hold. Now, I was looking at the ball carrier.
Now,
don't get me wrong.
Maverick Gum took 2 people out like a
sandwich, and we have another player down on 100.
Josiah's pleading his case with the coach, but I'm sure the coach ain't going to be too happy either way, even if he is telling the truth and the film shows that.
73.
73. That would
be
Gump.
That's Gump.
I don't know how that was going. That flag came, got thrown at a receiver all the way out on the sideline. The ref wasn't even looking at him when he threw the – okay. This is my first total amazement with the Zebra gang. Don't take it wrong. I like zebra cakes from Little Debbie, but sometimes I don't get them when they're on a football field.
Well, with the way the offense is moving, fine, take the penalty, move on.
Yep.
More time off the clock.
That's all you can do.
9:03 left to go here in the third quarter. Clay-Battelle still leads by a score of 22-6 over 100. I see one of the assistant coaches talking with one of the referees, and he's pleading his case.
He's 6'6", 331. He didn't hold him. He ran over him.
Excessive blocking is what the call was. For those who don't know, that was a blindside reference. To be fair, though, Zach Gump is the left tackle, so the referee's arm just might be out of shape on the flag throwing. All right. Ponceroff going to throw straight away past to Landon Savage. He's got some room. He's across the 20, over to the 10, gets out of bounds at about the 6. Hey, Chance, there's that Darius Renaud screen that I've been talking about there.
You did bring that up. I'm trying to make sure I got the reference here on the yards correct for Ponceroff to get his stats right.
That's how you get decent numbers as a quarterback.
I believe that was 34 yards. Don't hold me to it. I am not the official stat guy.
Well, I won't hold you to it.
Okay. Appreciate that.
8:30 left to go here in the third quarter. Clay-Battelle is on the 8-yard line on a first down and goal. Nice little shovel pass here to Landon Savage. They're going to keep going back to him. They believe he deserves to be rewarded with a touchdown, so they're going to try and reward that. He's down to the 5, gain of 3 on the play.
They had him stepping out of bounds, so I'm going to have to go back to 29 yards on that one because they put the ball at a different spot I would have put it. And now we'll give them 3 more of them yards on that pitch.
So it evens out.
It does. We still got the yardage.
8 minutes and counting. Tyson Price now into the game. Snodgrass, Toothman, Josiah Morgan, the wide receivers. Snodgrass and Maverick Gum at the running back position. Snodgrass to the quarterback's left. They hand it off to Maverick Gum. He rumbles his way. Maybe not even rumbles. Just untouched into the end zone. Touchdown, Clay-Battelle.
That will put him up to 90 yards.
That makes it 28-6 with the extra point pending here for Clay-Battelle. And I got to imagine they might go for 2, but at the same time, though, I'd like to see the extra point crew go back out again and try it again.
Get a little bit of practice. I think if they're at the 2, it's not that bad. I can just tell he don't have the leg to do much more than that.
Mm-hmm.
Wahama is now up 28-14 on East Hardy. That is our Metro News game of the week in single A. We got Pendleton over.
How's Doddridge doing against St. Mary's? Ponceroff is going to take it on the QB keeper, but he's got the option to pass. Hey, Landon Savage gets 2 points.
He'll get the 2-point conversion on there. And we got 7.
2-point conversion good, so that makes it 30-6.
I've got Doddridge up 7-0 right now.
All right. Speaking of teams that didn't move down from AA to single A, Doddridge County still in AA. Valley Wetzel only up 12-7 on Tigritz Valley in the second quarter. Valley Wetzel is the team I feel like you got to watch out for this year. Now, we're going there. We may be able to broadcast the game. I'm not going to guarantee anything. Service is a little spotty. 7:40 left to go here in the third quarter. Clay-Battelle leads by a score of 30-6. You hear the little kids, future cheerleaders of the Cee-Bees, doing some crowd noise here for us.
You asked them to do that crowd noise?
I did ask, and I received.
They have done an impressive job since you have asked.
Like I say, a decent crowd here tonight for the first game of the season. You got to imagine it's only going to get more packed as the weather cools down because that probably deterred a lot of people away.
You probably did, and I am going to ask this question out of curiosity since you bring up these little girls cheerleading for us. Does Clay-Battelle not have a cheerleading squad?
I guess not, because those are the 100 cheerleaders.
Okay, I'm just curious, unless they gave him a break for a minute, but I don't remember seeing him in the first half either, but I do keep my eyes on the football field. So.
Yeah. All right, kickoff set and ready to go here for Clay-Battelle. Once again, if you haven't heard, they're donning new gray uniforms tonight, as they will at home all season this year. Ponceroff raises his hand. Referee blows his whistle, and we're ready to go. Kickoff away at the 40-yard line. Nice booming kick straight away, received by the 100 Hornets at the 8-yard line. Good coverage here by the Hornets. As nice little pancake block there on the return by Jackson Huggins on the freshman TJ Barr, but he's going to get flagged on that play.
26 is cramping. Was that Snodgrass?
Yeah, that's Snodgrass. No, he's limping a little bit, but he's all right.
Well, he was first walking. Looked like his left would be his right calf was.
Yeah.
Starting.
I actually don't think that's a cramp. I think that's actually a nick.
They're going to the stretch.
Okay, well, going to the stretch. All right, fair enough.
Work that one up for me.
But it is a 15-yard penalty, by the way, so that'll be added at the end of the run here. So it'll be first down and 10 for the 100 Hornets, actually inside their own 20. It's going to be at the 14-yard line, so this is going to be the furthest that they've had to go. I think. Was there a turnover on downs that they went further?
37, 41, 32, 13 at 7:05 in the first. That was the one they ended up having to punt off of.
Well, if they score a touchdown, then that would be their longest drive of the game. So, all right, they take over at their own 14-yard line, 1st down and 10 here with 7:30 left to go in the third quarter. 100 lines up in their power I formation, 2 fullbacks and a tailback. Snap is to the fullback and handoff, Huggins. And he gets tackled right at the line of scrimmage. Maybe got one on the play and took it to the 15.
Hey, we're going to go with no gain so that I can say what I've been hoping for 4 carries. That gives Huggins 9 carries for 9 yards.
Woo!
He's consistent is what I'm telling you.
You need more yards, though, to move the sticks.
You do need that. You do not give you 10 plays to get to the sticks.
It'd be nice, wouldn't it? All right, 2nd down and about 9 here from the 15-yard line. Clock is running as we approach 6 minutes and about 45 seconds left to go. Same formation, 2 fullbacks and a running back under center. Toss sweep play to one of the fullbacks. As he gets across to the outside, across to the 10, breaks a couple tackles, gets met at about the 15-yard line, but it looks like he fell forward for a gain of about 1 or 2. That was Joey Wade on the toss sweep. It's interesting toss sweep play. You don't see that very often to one of the fullbacks on that power I formation.
He's a lot quicker than a lot of fullbacks, though, but it isn't something you see a whole lot.
I think he's there for passing reasons. I mean, it's clearly show. The thing that's one I'm wondering is that Jackson Huggins is a big guy. You could have him block into the gap and maybe get Tyler Sleeth on the carry and maybe get some extra yards. Have Jackson block a linebacker. Same formation here. They're going to roll out. It's a QB boot over to the right. As he gets across, is he going to get there to the sticks? It's going to depend on where the referee spots it. He's going to mark him short, but he did get very close to the sticks. It'll be 4th down and 1 here. The line to gain is about the 20, I want to say the 24.5, and they marked him just short of the 24-yard line. I say this is probably Jackson Huggins' time, because if he can't get you 1 yard, we might as well just pack it up and go home.
I'd say you're probably right on that.
All right. Power I formation here.
Well, Patrick will try to plug up that middle there.
And he is going to get the carry, but did he get to the 1st down marker? I think he did get just enough. You said Brody Patrick Willard going to plug that up. He did, but
slipped to the side of it.
But it just slipped. Yeah, he just slipped off the side. I'll tell you what, Cameron Mercer, by the way, is still down.
All I can tell you is I've had cramps before, and I feel for the boy.
I mainly have them in my sleep, and they're not fun.
No, they are not. Makes you get out of the bed, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. All right, same formation. It's going to be a toss sweep play to Joey Wade. Wade gets cut across to the outside, across the 25-yard line, down to maybe about the 28. It'll be a gain of about 2.5, so 2nd down and 8. Actually, I think it's more of a gain of 3, so 2nd down and 7 here. Well, they say 2 yards, so I guess I'll give them 2. 4:30 left to go in the third quarter. Clay-Battelle leads by a score of 30-6 over the 100 Hornets. 100 has the ball, but are still at their own 28-yard line. 2nd down and 7. Power I formation, 2 fullbacks. Jackson Huggins, the fullback, directly behind the quarterback. The quarterback rolls out to his right, but is going to be met.
Who's the bright green shoes? Because I know that's who made the tackle.
No, that's actually Jackson Huggins, but that is Tyson Price in there on the tackle.
That was impressive.
Wrapped him right at the hips, and Looks like Trey Huggins is limping there on the sideline.
Now this is where things become a problem for 100.
Yeah.
If you start getting a couple of their key players over there, and once again, could just be a cramp. We don't know. It doesn't look like a cramp the way he's acting, but
that's your normal quarterback here, and you're going to have the tight end, which is your best
receiver
on a third down and long situation. All right, so he's going to take the snap and run to his right, cut across the middle here very slowly. He pushes a couple tackles forward and is going to get down at about 4 yards. Once again,
you say that's Sandy, isn't it?
Sandy, yes. By the way, on the tackle, that might have been. Is that who I thought it was? That was Caleb Hall on the tackle.
We got the Hall connection going on again.
Yeah. He's getting some snaps there at linebacker. All right, they're going to punt this one away here. I wouldn't be surprised here if you might see some younger guys get some carries for Clay-Battelle. Maybe
I'd like to
snap is a little bit low. They're going to punt it. High booming kick. Best punt they've had all night. Ponceroff is going to receive it. He cuts across the 50, down to the 40, over across the 35, across the 30, breaks a couple tackles, across the 25. He's in a foot race. He's going to go to the end zone. Touchdown, Braden Ponceroff. Touchdown, Cee-Bees. Boy, that was a heads-up play there by your quarterback. 2:17 left to go here in the third quarter, and Braden Ponceroff takes the punt return back for a touchdown. It is 36-6 Cee-Bees.
Where did he catch that at? About right at the 50?
I want to say at about the 45. So I would say that's about a 55-yard punt return for a touchdown. He's a good runner. You know, I know he made some great catches and was able to do a couple runs, but he's proven to be a good runner. I think they're going to go for the extra point this time. Yep. Because Corey Cohen is actually set to go. Toothman bringing the ball in. They have a special kicking ball. I know that from experience. Dancer is the long snapper. Corey Cohen the holder. Ponceroff the kicker. Snap is good. Hold is good. Kick is up. And it is good. That was excellent execution there on the PAT.
Ponce is limping off a little bit, so you may see him get a break on defense.
Yep.
And it looks like they're going to make him at least kick it off because somebody handed him the tee.
Well, at least get him some water.
I was going to say, he may be fighting a cramp here for sure. We're starting to see that come in, affect everybody on both sides here. They still have number one. I think their quarterback is still down over there getting.
Yeah, he's getting stretches.
He tried stretching it out on the fence, but.
Yeah, I'm telling you, watch Jackson Huggins on the kickoff because he was the one that got the personal foul penalty.
Okay.
This is when things could maybe start getting a little bit chippy.
Yep, you start to get the game out of control. 15 yards doesn't matter as much.
All right, 2:17 left to go in the third quarter. Clay-Battelle leads by a score of 37-6.
I mean, this is just me, and I know this will be the first time I've questioned Lapoe during this season, but there's some part of me with Ponce limping just a little bit.
Yeah.
This kickoff ain't that important. I think
just boot it out of bounds.
Just have somebody else go out there. I think what Cooper Statler kicked off last year for us, if I'm correct, at least a couple times.
No, I think that was an offensive lineman who actually no, it was Spears.
That's right, it was Spears. I just think any of that, or like you said, just tell him kick it out of bounds.
Let's see how he does here. He may kick it out of bounds. All right, hand is up. Kick is away. It's a booming straight down the middle. And it's Joey Wade set to take the snap. Corey Cohen gets broken tackle, but he does slow up the ball carrier. By the way, we saw Jackson Huggins go right up to Ponceroff, and he said, "Buddy, I'm not going to hit you. I saw you were limping," and gave him a fist bump. And Ponceroff said, "You know what, buddy? I appreciate that."
Caleb Hall in on that tackle to bring that Hall connection in again. You know, it's good sportsmanship. You know what I mean? If you see that and you see the tackles happening, you don't need to take that cheap shot.
I was just worried about that. You don't want to see your kicker/quarterback limping and somebody go, "You know what, I might have a free shot at this kid." But, yes, good sportsmanship displayed on both sides. They line up in that power I formation. Actually, no, they're lining up in the Wildcat formation with Colt Sandy set to take the snap.
I mean, I can bring
they're
up
calling a timeout here. I think that was a bad line up there on the formation. I think they did that to avoid a penalty. I'll tell you what, let's take the timeout with them. We'll come back after a short break. You are listening to Clay-Battelle Cee-Bees football with 2:09 set to go here in the third quarter. Clay-Battelle leads by a score of 37-6 here on WAJR.com.
For 150 years, Lang Monument has helped Morgantown area families honor their loved ones with beautiful monuments. I'm Rob Lang, and the dedication from my family that began in 1874 continues in 2024. From selection of granite, marble, or bronze to engraving and installation, a member of my family will be by your side for generations to come. Lang Monument, Don Knotts Boulevard, across from the Wharf District. See our selection online at langmonument.com.
This is Clay-Battelle High Cee-Bees football on WAJR.
Welcome back to Clay-Battelle High School, where we are at the third quarter, and Clay-Battelle leads by a score of 37-6 over the 100 Hornets. Clay-Battelle scored on the punt return, so the 100 Hornets go back on offense. They line up in that Wildcat formation. Nice little toss pass there in that Wildcat formation, and now your other quarterback has a cramp. Colt Sandy has a cramp.
That is not a good sign for them. It's like, now who do you move to at that point in time?
Tyler Sleeth. I love the student section here.
These little girls down here in front of us cheering have gotten the crowd behind them. And they've gotten some girls down on the front of the bleachers now doing the exact same thing. Nice to see the team spirit going on here.
1:20 left to go here in the third quarter. It is 2nd down and 9 after a 1-yard gain on the play. And 100's going to call another timeout. All right, Chance. Let's talk about some week 1 scenarios here, because you got guys going down with cramps. If you're 100, this is the absolute worst case that could happen to you, because, by the way, it should be mentioned, Trey Huggins, the main quarterback, number 1, is sitting on the bench, and that looks like more than a cramp if you ask me.
It is, we even mentioned Mercer. It actually looks to me as Mercer with his jersey off now.
Yeah.
Like it could be just that bad of a cramp that they can't get it to stop. Like, you get it to stop, you got to stand up and move, and the next thing you know, you're back down on the ground.
Well, I can tell you, as a big boy myself, when you're laying on the ground like that trying to get it stretched off, the hardest thing to do is to get back up off the ground.
Totally agree with you on that note. Like, if it wasn't for being able to swing my legs off the bed to get on my cramps.
Should be mentioned, Cooper Statler is out of the game. Alex Dancer is out of the game. Cameron Mercer is out of the game. I see Zach Gump in there.
Zach Gump is out there beside Patrick.
I'm seeing Josh Wilson. I still see Brody Patrick Willard. All right. Let's see what they do here now, because number 5, Colt Sandy, who was suffering from cramps, still lined up at quarterback here. He does a little toss pass here. A little quick toss to number 10, Joey Wade, but there is a flag down on the play. Oh, man, this is
starting to get tired. You start to make mental mistakes.
That was Jackson Huggins there on the play. And by the way, we're approaching the final minute left to go here in the third quarter. Chance, what's the rule on running clock? Do you have to be 35 or is it just 30?
I think it's 35.
35? Okay, so you're one score away here from Clay-Battelle having a running clock. But by the way, a whole bunch of young guns here on defense for Clay-Battelle. All right. Fumbled snap.
That may be our ball.
I think it is our ball. Fumbled snap, backup quarterback Colt Sandy, and Clay-Battelle has the football.
Well, Gump waved it was our ball, and I'm pretty sure them refs weren't going to argue with him. They were just like, we're going to point that way too, kid. Who was that on the fumble? Was that?
I think it was just I didn't see who recovered it.
Okay. Just a snap? Is that what he fumbled?
Yeah, the ball didn't even get to his hands. It was down on the ground.
Okay.
The problem with it was Colt Sandy kind of gave up on the play. He didn't even jump on the ball. So Clay-Battelle will take over first down and 10 inside the 20 in the red zone at about the 17-yard line. It looks like the first team offense might still be in there. Potteroff is still in there, but I am seeing
maybe to get that
TJ Barr. I'm seeing TJ Barr and Caleb Snodgrass in there. I'm seeing Toothman, but I'm not seeing Stewart. Not Stewart, but looks like Barr's going to get the carry here.
Nice little run by him.
Yeah. And he is going to be down at about the 11-yard line. The line to gain is the 8. So gain of about 7 on the play there by Barr. I know Dancer or Mercer is probably going to get the player of the game, but if you had to say the guy who has surprised me the most, it's been TJ Barr.
He's done a wonderful game at middle linebacker. When you think, we talk about this in college, but high school may even be different level of it. When you can get a true freshman to contribute, that's pretty amazing.
Yeah.
We're looking at right now, you've got TJ doing it, and you've got Caleb Hall, who's been out there probably 33% of the snaps, if not more.
I'm interested to see some more as we get going. Eli Cottrell, maybe some Julian Vega, J.J. Dawson, Gavin Tennant. Looking at some guys here. And I'll tell you another thing, too. When you see freshmen getting playing time like this, it gets you excited to maybe go in and play as a 7th and 8th grader to say, I'm going to play now, and I can play right away.
And, I'll go ahead and I'll put it out there right now. There's one name we haven't mentioned tonight because he's not playing. But Brendan Baker's on the sideline in street clothes, who was a huge contributor to this team last year. Now, he got injured in, from what I'm hearing,
off-season workouts.
Off-season workouts. So at that point in time, we're waiting on clearance for him. He hopes to come back from what we were having conversations with him. But, that means that defense just gets a bigger pump at that point in time.
All right, by the way, this is the end of the third quarter, so we go into the fourth quarter up 37-6 in favor of Clay-Battelle. One score here will give us a running clock.
And I think that leaving some of the starters in was maybe a reason behind that. He's thinking, if we can get
3 quarters, by the way, of starter work, you worry about that factor because you get later in the season. All right. Running back on each side, they hand it off to Caleb Snodgrass. Snodgrass cuts across the 5. He's into the end zone. Touchdown, Clay-Battelle. And the first touchdown for Caleb Snodgrass, the sophomore. There is a player down, though, 400. And actually, that is Jackson Huggins. 7 seconds have ticked off the clock here for the fourth quarter.
They are stretching his leg, which leads me to believe that it's a cramp. nothing, not that them don't hurt, but not on a more serious note.
By the way, should be mentioned, Jackson Huggins Jr., Trey Huggins Jr., Tyler Sleeth Jr., Colt Sandy Jr., Joey Wade Jr. The only guy who I've seen make a play tonight, now this is not counting the offensive line, of course, is Riley Halford, who had that deep catch basically boxing out Landon Savage. He's the only senior, so every single one of these guys is going to be back next year when you go 200. And, you know, as much as I don't like to say it, but natural grass makes a difference.
It does. I think it changes the game completely in a lot of ways whenever you go to natural grass from turf. And it, you know, it's one of them I've always come to find out. I used to use the joke was, rumor had it Williamstown was going to get a turf field. And I'm like, what are you doing? The only way you ever beat Wheeling Central Catholic
was because you had a grass field.
You had a grass field. They could not play on grass in the playoffs. He got our
the referee. Actually, that's the referee.
That is a nice thing because he knows it's hot out there. I mean,
it is hot. Guys, we're sweating up here.
We're in this booth. I'm on my third bottle of whatever it is I'm drinking up here. We'll word it that way. And, the refs are hot. All the kids have got to – and there's no doubt substitutions are happening one way or the other because they're just –
the problem is that if you're hungry, you don't have those substitutions. At least if Clay-Battelle, you have those substitutions.
Correct. They're down – if they get, more than 3 players with a cramp on the sideline, they don't have enough to send out there on the field to complete the game.
They'd have to play with 10. You are correct. They'd have to play with 10. And it's just, it really is just so hard in single A these days, especially with the reclassifications. You're looking at a lot of these single A schools, hardly any of them. By the way, the extra point might have been the best kick that Ponceroff has done all night.
That was actually that one could have been good from about 30 out, I think.
Yeah. And Coach Lapoe is loving it over there, by the way. That's what I'm saying, man. Lapoe's got an energy, He should also be mentioned, he's a teacher. He sees these kids every day in the classroom. And he's not your basic gym teacher either. He's teaching biology.
That is different for a normal. Normally you got a driver's education, a gym teacher. You don't got your biology teacher as being in your head coach. There's the running clock because we've moved forward.
So this fourth quarter should run by a little bit quicker.
That does confirm 35 points instead of 30, though, because they were at 30 before this.
So let's just go through a brief overview of what you've seen out of this team so far. Out of this small sample size, what do you like? What do you think needs to be improved upon for this Clay-Battelle Cee-Bees?
You win games in the trenches, and you definitely win games in the trenches come playoff time later in the year. And I am highly impressed with the trenches of both sides, the defensive line and the offensive line. The skill players, we got some work to do on offense. And I got a feeling we're probably going to see a different team come next week on offense because I really believe that Lapoe's not going to like what he sees when he goes to the film except for the line play.
Ponceroff is no longer kicking, folks. It is Julian Vega. By the way, he had a Juventus shirt under his jersey. And, Chance, I know you don't know what that means, but that's an Italian soccer club.
Well, in that case, we know how he kicks, and we know my single-A school went and recruited a kid out of Mexico to come kick for us our state championship year.
Vega's looking amped to kick this ball. All right, here he goes. It's not bad.
Not bad for a
freshman.
Not
bad. Goes across the 30. It's bouncing. It goes across to Joey Wade. He cuts across. He reverses field. He's got some space to run here. Gets across the 30, down to about the 32. Excellent tackle there by Caleb Hall and Tyson Price. Caleb Hall. I did not expect to say this kid's name more than 5 times today.
I did not either, but I think Vega is running over there, handing the tee off. He's getting a high five from, is that the head coach? That is Lapoe. Is that Lapoe over there high-fiving him?
Yeah, it is.
I tell you what, that is awesome to see. And that's the type of things that will keep kids coming back out year after year, or making the 8th graders want to go ahead and stick out.
He's also getting high fives from his teammates out there. All right, so 100 takes over at the 34-yard line, first down and 10. As we have a running clock, we're now approaching about 11 minutes left to go in this game. Clay-Battelle leads by a score of 44-6. First down and 10, play clock goes to 0, delay of game. Here's one thing I will say, Chance. Once again, knock on wood. We have ran a completely new offense, and we have not had one procedure penalty the entire game.
And that is impressive when you start looking at that. Not doing those mental mistakes is what I will say.
By the way, I just got a text from my girlfriend Kirsten. She said, "Hey, don't hate on gym teachers." So I apologize. I do not want to hate on gym teachers. I'm sorry. Her brother, gym teacher over at a Hurricane Middle School, as there's a toss sweep pass over to Wade. Wade gets across near the 40-yard line, tackled by Tyson Price. Gain of about 10 on the play with the penalty because it was first down and 15, and he got to the 40-yard line. So he got.
Let me clarify for Kirsten here. I wasn't downgrading the gym teacher position.
I actually, if it's anybody's fault, it's mine.
As much as I'm going to say it's not often you see a biology teacher who's a high school football coach. It was more of the shocker of not one class more important than the other. Because
hey, gym class is important. It was my specialty in Williamstown High School. All right. Nice little shovel pass there to Tyler Sleeth. Sleeth gets around to the outside, but tackled by Caleb Snodgrass for a loss. Excellent play there by Snodgrass. Is that Snodgrass or is that TJ Barr? Actually, that was TJ Barr. That was TJ Barr.
I can tell you this, Sleeth is not going to want to look at the stat sheet unless he does something here soon. Because right now he's sitting at 6 carries for a negative 6 yards. He's the exact opposite of Jackson Huggins.
By the way, offensive lineman is limping off here for 100. It's number 69, Noah Smith, a senior.
Looks like a hip flexor possibly on him because he's holding that hip.
All right, third down and about 7 here for 100. They motion. The snap is low, and it goes past the quarterback, but there's a flag on the play, and it's going to be an encroachment on Clay-Battelle.
Not so sure.
8:50.
That may have been on Gump because he kind of stood up a little bit. They had an eclipse.
Yeah.
So then they decided to call offsides. He didn't move at all across the line of scrimmage. It was just everything went black down there, and they're like, we better throw a flag.
All right, that moves it now to third down and about 2 here. Shotgun formation for the 100 Hornets. 2 receivers on each side. They motion Sleeth from right to left. They're going to try and pass it here, but quarterback is immediately pressured. Tackled by Snodgrass. Immediately goes to help him up, by the way.
I was going to bring this up earlier.
Both teams have shown great respect for one another, by the way.
They have, and I announced for Clay-Battelle, so of course I'm a fan of them now. I still root for St. Mary's on the side. I don't know what will happen if we ever meet in the playoffs. That's going to be a
well, we know what happens when we meet my alumni in playoffs. but it's called We Play on Saturday, so Ethan can't show his bias. All right, fourth down. They're going to go for it. Actually, no, they're not going to go for it. Yeah, they are going to go for it. They're under center here. Hand it off to Huggins. Huggins gets
across. He gained more than a yard.
Yeah, he did. He gained about 3 on the play. That'll help the average. He gets across to about the 45-yard line. The line of game was the 44, so it'll be first down and 10 for the 100 Hornets. As we approach 7 minutes and 25 seconds left to go here in this ball game.
I want to bring up a point. When that game was over last year and they had upset us, I don't know if I've seen a more emotional group of boys.
Yeah.
I mean, I was happy for them as much as I hated that.
And for the community. I mean, don't get me wrong. That community we were on the home sideline, don't get me wrong. But that community was loud and proud of what they had accomplished, as they should be. First down and 10 here, 400. They line up under center, power I formation, toss sweep play to Tyler Sleeth. Sleeth gets around to the outside, cuts inside, bounces off a few tacklers, actually his blockers, but he's met in the backfield. By the way, that is Corey Cohen on the tackle there for Clay-Battelle and Cameron Lloyd.
Everybody's getting into it.
Yeah, which is things we love to see it. Number 8, Briston Reed, another freshman into the game. Corey Cohen, the slot corner, sophomore, into the game. If they get the ball back, hopefully we'll get to see him take some snaps at quarterback. Under center here, 400. Power I formation. Going to fake the toss, roll out to the right, pressure. Snodgrass pursuing the quarterback. He throws it on the screen out to the flat there to Huggins. Huggins, nice play and throw there by the 100 Hornets. They get a nice gain of about 5 on the play. It'll actually about 6 or 7, and he keeps moving. He keeps moving. All right, third down and about 1, so 9. Give him 9.
Give him 9. I'll give him 9. Big feller coming down with the catch.
The runaway beer truck.
No, then he backs up. See, he waits for me to do it, and then I tell you what, we're going back to 8.
All right, back to 8. Under center here on 3rd down and 2. Hand it off to Jackson Huggins. Huggins, I think he got to the line again. I can see those lime green shoes over at the 44.
They're going to give him a first down, or is it going to be 4th and inches? I think they may need to measure on this one.
No, just say it's 4th down. Because don't you have to stop the clock on a measurement?
I think they're going with just 4th down. They need a drink.
They don't need a drink. They need AC.
I'm not arguing with that. It will be blasting in my car on the way home.
4th down and inches here for the 100 Hornets. Don't be surprised to see a sneak on a hard count. And he gets more than enough that he needs. Heck, that might be the best running play they have so far. He got about 4 or 5 on that play. First down for 100. As we approach 4 minutes and 20 seconds left to go. First down and 10 for 100. They lined up under center again in a power I formation. Toss sweep to Sleeth. Got to try and boost that average a little bit. He gets nothing. Who was that on the tackle? Number 63. That is Josh Wilson, another junior.
Caleb Hall took the outside away, made him, forced him inside, and then just done exactly what you're supposed to do out there at that corner.
This defensive coordinator has done an excellent job here tonight with these.
He wasn't happy about midway into the second.
Yeah.
He was giving him a royal butt chewing at that point in time, but then they have responded.
2nd down and 11 here, 400. They line up under center. 1 fullback, 2 fullbacks. Tosses it to Joey Wade. Wade gets across the original line of scrimmage, across the 45, down to about the 35, down to about the 32. Nice gain there. Keep it 3rd down and very manageable.
The clock keeps rolling.
It's becoming a dance party here, if you can hear the loudspeaker over us. 2 minutes and 45 seconds left to go here in this game. 3rd down and about 2 here for the 100 Hornets. They can get a first down here. This might be the final drive. They line up under center again with 2 fullbacks and Tyler Sleeth, the tailback, and way back in the backfield. They hand it to Joey Wade. He bounces off tacklers, runs to the outside. Caleb Hall in pursuit, gets him at the hips, and tackles him out of bounds. They help him up. Nice tackle there by Caleb Hall. I'm impressed with Caleb Hall.
I am too. Kid's got some wheels underneath there, that's for sure.
Ball is at the 24-yard line as we approach under 2 minutes left to go here in the game. Chance, there's now a 2-minute warning in college football. How long before it's in high school?
I'm hoping never at this point in time.
Under center here for 100. They fake the handoff to
12
Jackson.
Wide open.
12 was wide open, but they're going to throw it to number 5, Colt Sandy, and it goes overthrown, but thrown right into the hands of Josiah Morgan, but it goes through his hands and incomplete. But we are at a running clock, so that clock is going to keep on rolling here despite the incomplete pass.
If he would have stopped right off the bat, he could have just dumped the ball to number 12, and they'd had a touchdown.
Probably.
There was nobody seen him.
Final minute left to go here. Probably only 2 more snaps left in this game. Think they'll try and go for the end zone or just try to be respectful and end the game while it's over. No, they're going to try and score. I applaud them for it. They throw it to Joey Wade. Wade catches it down to about the 7 as we approach 30 seconds left to go here in this game. Let's see if they can score one more time. I'm going to jump for joy if they do.
Puts him up to 63 yards receiving.
Yeah. 15 seconds left to go in this game. This will probably be the final play of the ball game.
They can't call a timeout and stop it if they get it off quick.
Under center. Rolls to his right. Pressure. Intercepted by Caleb Hall. He's going towards the 25, but he gets the whistle blows. We might have just found our next great number 2. The Deuce ices it for the Cee-Bees. Clay-Battelle wins it 44-6. All right, Chance, let's go ahead and keep things here and wrap things up. First, we got to thank some sponsors here. And hang on, let me just pull it up here. By the way, the halftime report, forgot to do the halftime report. Sponsored by Mon Health System, Feel the Difference. But I'm going to go right into the player of the game presented by Lang Monument, family-owned and celebrating 150 years of serving Morgantown, located in the Wharf District. Chance, your player of the game. Give it to me.
I think we got to go back, even though he left with a cramp. I think Cameron Mercer set the tone early. Wasn't able to complete, kind of much in the second half with that cramp. I mean, if you wanted to go statistic-wise, besides setting the tone, Maverick Gunn was pretty phenomenal.
I'm gonna go with an outside edge here, and I'm gonna go with T.J. Barr. T.J. Barr really, I've always said the middle linebacker is the captain of your defense.
They are.
To put that on a freshman and perform the way that he did tonight, very impressive. So I'm going to give that to T.J. Barr. Power play of the game presented by Morgantown Power Sports, carrying a complete lineup of Honda, Yamaha, Suzuki, Kawasaki, and KTM. Morgantown Power Sports on the mile ground. Chance, your power play of the game tonight.
I think
wait a minute. Let me guess. The Caleb Hall interception.
I thought about that, and then I went back to another one. Even though it wasn't a score, it wasn't a big turnover or any of that, I'm going to go with the Toothman 50-yard catch from Ponceroff, because I think when it comes down to it, that may be what builds confidence in Ponceroff as the season comes along. I'm
going to go with the punt return, because I think the punt return was really what sealed the game. You talk about dominating in all 3 phases of the game. And I think Clay-Battelle did that tonight. And the punt return really solidified special teams as dominating that side of the ball. So my power play of the game is going to be the Ponceroff 55-yard touchdown return.
I do believe that is what it was, yes.
All right. Well, Chance, this has been fun. I think we did pretty good for our first game back this year so far.
I think so. I think my statistics could have been a little bit smoother. I do think there was.
Hey, listen,
there was
first game of the year.
On that, I handed my headset over to Zach Hall, and I thought he'd keep the stats for me. Next thing I know, he ain't grabbing the pencils. I had to keep that up. So.
All right. Well, folks, it will be us here next week. I believe we're at home. Let me see here. Yes, we are at home. Weirton Madonna at home next week. Should be a fun one. We're really going to get a test to see how good this Clay-Battelle Cee-Bees team is. With that being said, thank you folks for listening. The final score, Clay-Battelle 44-106. You have been listening to Clay-Battelle Cee-Bees football here on WAJR.com.
High school football on WAJR has been brought to you by HealthWorks. When your body hurts, go to HealthWorks. 9 convenient locations to serve you. By Lang Monument, family owned since 1874 in the Wharf District, Morgantown. By Morgantown Power Sports, carrying a complete lineup of Honda, Yamaha, Suzuki, Kawasaki, and KTM. Morgantown Power Sports on the mile ground. By Mon Health System, feel the difference. By Advanced HVAC and Plumbing, the area's only Carrier factory authorized dealer. Turn to the experts. By the Insurance Centers, where serving you is our best policy. And by Omega Commercial Interiors. For office furniture, buy local at Omega in Morgantown and Charleston. Stay tuned. Metro News High School Game Night is coming up next on 104.5 FM and 1440 AM WAJR, the voice of Morgantown.